Cancel culture is about canceling.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records ain't sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
it's one like this, immaculate conception. Not transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got junk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like...
We'll see counters. They want you to fly.
Hi, friend.
Hey, how we doing?
I was already streaming before the show started, and people were asking when's the Leftist Mafia starting, and I was trying to appease them. And I was like, I have the green room in the background. I can tell you all that Mike is there. He's looking handsome as ever. He's ready to start, but he is not as of now. I don't think anyone else is here yet, so it's going to be a Lance and Mike introduction.
It looks like that's going to be the case. I was in the back room just twiddling my thumbs, and I'm like, I'm bored. Let's just start. I'm sure people will come here soon.
Fair enough. How's life? I was just watching your Melania video. It was hilarious.
Oh, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I really, really had a lot of fun shitting on Melania for, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? It really fueled me.
Is it true that across the United States, there's just empty theaters everywhere? Like that's just
mostly. I'm seeing more people today post that okay, this one sold 15 seats, this one sold several. So she hit double digits, which is actually really encouraging for her. But overall, if I had to guess, and I think this is a pretty conservative guess, the film is not going to make back the money that they spend. I don't think that was the plan, but it just seems like there's not a lot of there's not a lot of excitement for this. I can't imagine anyone wanting to see the Melania movie, including Melania's own family, because
I was like, who's the target demo? MAGA, the men, no. You can count them all out, right? Like, women's business, I don't care about that,
right?
And then I guess MAGA women, I'm sure there's a percentage of Melania superfans that I didn't know about. I don't know. Yeah. I did like watching the interview clips that you had where she's like, you will experience all of the emotions, happiness, anger, humor, all of them. I was like, okay, I guess those are the three. And sounds like a rip-roaring time.
Yeah, she's very much hyping it up a little bit too much, I think. And the problem is that once you set expectations so high, you got to meet those expectations. And I don't know if she's going to be able to pull that off. But yeah, to your point about who's this for, it's crazy because the things that she talks about, the lead up to Trump's inauguration is I was picking out my dress. Like you said, Trump dudes, the MAGA men don't care about that. And the MAGA women, I mean, putting aside the Mar-a-Lago face MAGA women, most MAGA women, at least the ones that I know and based on the stereotype, which is mostly true, they're overweight, old women with short haircuts that don't wear makeup, that don't really care about those kinds of glamorous things. And so it just feels like that's not even gonna be appealing to them.
Are they allowed to go to movies without chaperones? Is that a thing?
Well, yeah, apparently that's okay. They can still go to movies without chaperones, but they're just I guess certain limitations. They're not they're not following the Bible to the fullest extent. They're not going full Saudi Arabia yet. I think they just want that for everybody else and not for themselves. Like they want maybe Muslim women to have chaperones, or they want women of color to have chaperones, or the Gestapo or something. But for them, it's fine. They get full freedom. But yeah, in a weird way, part of me kind of wants to watch the Melania movie, not like pay any money for it or give it a view, but just maybe download it and watch it just out of curiosity, because I just feel like it's a train wreck, and I want to watch the train wreck in a sense, because this very clearly there was no inspiration for it. They just filmed her 20 days in the lead up to President Neckpussy's inauguration, and it's like, what is exciting about that? I can't imagine. It's like planning for a birthday party, but almost less exciting, because I feel like Sweet 16, you watch something like that, there's intrigue there. There's a DJ you're trying to find. This is just, we're going to go back to the White House. I was already there before, but we're going back. Barron's going to be in it. It's like, okay. I mean, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, it's just crazy.
So you're saying the target demo was us all along, just hate watchers?
Maybe they're smarter than we give them credit for.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So we are supposed to have Qasim Rashid come on relatively soon. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Oh, you are completely silent, at least to me.
There we go.
There we go. How dare you come in here? You barge in and you're completely quiet. Nobody can hear you.
I barge in and am completely quiet, right? Yeah, sorry for being late. How's everybody doing?
We're here.
Thriving, surviving, Living, man.
Yep. Everyone. Oh, looks like I'm not the only one who's late, though. Everybody's late.
Everybody is late. I was sitting here 5 minutes before start time.
I can confirm that.
And Lance was here way before that, so we were very punctual.
2 hours.
And
I apologize.
It's fine. Listen, it happens. Just don't do it again. But no, I'm just kidding. No, it doesn't matter. I mean, we can shoot this shit here with just me and Lance. But I did have some stuff lined up for today. I put Nicki Minaj in the title, at least on my channel, because I haven't talked about her MAGA. I was on vacation the first time when she did her whole MAGA thing, but now she's like doing the full humiliation ritual, and I really wanted to talk about that with you all. I did have some clips prepared. Let me pull them in. I should have some pictures prepared as well. There's just a lot. Pictures, just so much. So
let's get started then. I'm glad someone prepared.
I really wanted to talk about this because, unsurprisingly, Matt, as you probably could have guessed, Lance too, I was a fan of Nicki Minaj. So anyone who I like is going to become a demon or a Nazi at some point.
I never really liked her. I never really liked her, especially the beef. And I feel like it's been a long-term one between her and Cardi B, when Cardi B is obviously the not even just the superior talent, just the better person as well.
Does appear to be the person.
And I'm not even talking about politics. Just if you listen to their interviews and stuff like that, you could get a good idea of how someone is. And I don't know if Nicki Minaj came off as a bad person per se, but Cardi, before getting into the politics stuff, but Cardi B definitely came out as the more down to earth, cooler one.
Well, and to your point, Matt, Nicki Minaj.
Oh, and isn't her husband a registered sex offender?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was the tell for me.
There's a big working theory that's kind of the explanation behind the random adoration of Trump and MAGA, is that she's looking for 2 pardons. I think both for her cousin and her husband.
But I don't know the specifics on that. I'm not 100% sure if they're eligible for pardons, because as far as I know, her husband, he has state level convictions. I'm not sure what the deal is with her brother.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do state level convictions. He'd have to be to the governor.
It's a good theory, but I have an alternate theory. My theory is that she genuinely has a type, and it is sexual predator. Because not only is she cozying up to Donald Trump, I want to remind everybody, her politics have always been shit because when she had the choice between Cynthia Nixon and Andrew Cuomo, can you guess who she picked? The sexual predator. So, time and again, Nicki Minaj has decided to side with sexual predators, and I've got to say,
maybe she just has a type. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It might not even be just a strategic play. Maybe she's just attracted to sex predators. I mean, maybe that's just her thing.
I think that there is some legs to that theory. Before we proceed, I do have to show you both this photo. This is her, and this grossed me out so much. She's holding Trump's hand.
Is that a ham?
And so I have so many tabs open, my browser's like almost crashing. Oh, okay, Rebecca's here. Rebecca!
Hey.
Just in time.
So you came in at the perfect time. We're talking about Nicki Minaj's MAGA Humiliation Tour. Very excited about this. As you can see, she is holding Trump's hand, sausage fingers present, and then he has makeup on the hand that she's holding, and her fingers are touching his makeup on his. It's just this for some reason made me very nauseous looking at it. I'm being a little bit melodramatic. I didn't actually get nauseous, but it grossed me out.
She was grossed out too. It looked like.
I mean, how could she not be grossed out? That hand has been in nightmarish places, and the fact that she's holding it is very disgusting to me. So she did the whole ritual, but the funny thing about this is I kind of go through some of this stuff, but hang on one second. Let me go. Oh my God, I have like literally 18 tabs open. So
you did
prepare.
Oh
my God. Okay. So I've got too much shit. I just want to say that, like, as much as she tries, she will never be respected. They do not give a fuck about her. They don't know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
They just see somebody who's famous and MAGA, and so they're embracing her. Just watch
Charlie
this
Kirk
segment.
used to speak out against Nicki Minaj, by the way, just so we're clear. And like, what would Charlie Kirk want? And like, Nicki Minaj appearing in Turning Point USA, he used to like talk shit about Nicki Minaj. And the degenerate, corrupting, hip hop music that is making youth more aggressive and angry.
And apparently, she's gonna now make, I guess, a tribute song to Charlie Kirk, which would be hilarious. Like he's rolling in his fucking grave.
She should just cover the AI song. Just do that.
I mean, unless it was fake news, I saw on Twitter after she did the whole thing with Charlie Kirk that she was supposed to make a tribute song for Charlie Kirk. I'm not sure if that's going to be on her upcoming album or just something she's giving to Turning Point USA. I'm not really sure, but she's going full Forgiato Blow. And look, his career is booming, so maybe that's the path. But so this is the Fox News discussion about what we're going to watch. We'll watch some of the clips with her and Trump, but like this is what they have to say.
Now, Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump. Now, conservatives, or including myself, were beyond disgusted by some of her lyrics in her songs over the years. WAP, I won't say what that stands for, but
wait for it. So you missed the best
play
part.
Play that again. Play that again.
That's so funny. They're still doing this shit. Like, this is what I grew up with when I was listening to hip hop in the 90s, right? It's just basically the same arguments being done all over again. All these terrible lyrics, they're going to turn the children into gangsters, I tell you. It's like nothing's changed. It's all the exact same.
Precisely. But Lance, listen very carefully to the actual song from Nicki Minaj that she says is inappropriate. Just wait for it.
Or including myself, were beyond disgusted by some of her lyrics in her songs over the years. WAP, I won't say what that stands for, but
I will say what it stands for. It stands for wet ass pussy, and that was not Nicki Minaj. That was Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Just wrong and wrong.
I love that they think that she did that song because it makes them feel uncomfortable that now they have to embrace WAP.
Because they were really upset about WAP because but that was like a Ben Shapiro thing too.
That was Ben Shapiro.
He went out and did this whole campaign about it. And I remember him saying that his wife didn't have that. It was very embarrassing.
I remember. Yeah, that's the craziest part about it, is admitting that.
Yeah, that was
it's never happened before.
My wife's P word is perfectly dry. Oh, hi, Ariana.
Hey guys, the show has finally started. I'm here. Also, what episode is this? I can't keep track.
150 something? 156, I want to say. Yeah,
Oh my
156.
word.
Guys, my mentor is about to hop on. I'm excited.
I'm really excited. We'll pause the Nicki Minaj stuff when he jumps here.
Okay, cool. Okay,
It's just
carry
the warm
on.
up.
Hello, chat.
Okay. Well, you walked in at an awkward time, but conservatives, I'll just catch you up. Nicki Minaj, as you know, probably went full MAGA, and conservatives, even though they're happy that she went full MAGA, they're a little disgusted by her songs, like WAP, for example, which, was definitely sung by Nicki Minaj, famous Nicki Minaj song.
Right.
Okay, so this is her. So the event in question is the Trump accounts event, where she is, I guess, donating money to Trump accounts. So kids born between, I think, 2027 and 2030 or something are going to get a savings account with $1,000. Not the worst policy Trump has ever, introduced. I think systemic changes would be much better. But, giving money
There's
to
a
people.
but.
Cool.
There's a but. What's the but? What's the fucking but?
There's a catch
here?
somewhere, right? So
Right.
she's there to promote this, though. And she kind of just this is the start of her whole MAGA tour. And when I say MAGA tour, I just want people to understand that, hang on, let me pull it up. So she has gone on Katie Miller's podcast. I play this, but they're making TikToks together. So, there's that. She met with Mike Johnson. She has done photo ops with Scott Bessent or Bussant. I'm not really sure how you say his name. Scott Bussant. And
Just say what you want to say, Mike. Just go ahead. Just say what you want to say.
It's okay.
I said it.
Just call him Mike Bussy.
Oh, I have to
I mean, I'm hearing it anyway, so.
Okay. So the thing
you guys saw that Trump actually gave her the Trump Golden Card, right?
Yes.
I saw
Well,
that.
she took a picture of it. Yeah.
She didn't have
You
to
guys
pay
know
for
what
it.
it is because that's pretty it's pretty substantial. So Nicki Minaj is an undocumented immigrant. She spoke about that back in 2018 when she spoke out against Donald Trump. She said that she was an undocumented immigrant. She came from Trinidad and Tobago when she was 5. And she's been very much undocumented for a very long time. She still was undocumented up until last night. And then Trump gave her the Trump Golden Card, which for other undocumented people, that would cost $1 million just to
5
acquire.
million, right?
$1 million, yeah. He just gave it to her.
He did, but we all know that there's something that she needs from this. And let's be clear, Nicki Minaj ain't shit right now. How she's shucking and jiving ain't shit. There's nothing about this that is pleasing. It shouldn't be pleasing to nobody. There's something that she needs. She's probably in financial whatever. We really don't know, but we know that this right here is cooning at its best. But undocumented. She came here undocumented. Now she must have got some papers at some point. That's how she became, America's favorite rapper or whatever. She was making American money. That's how she got rich. So, the undocumented thing, she came here undocumented. She got some papers. Now to become a citizen, I'm pretty sure that this is where we've gotten. And, being on her knees and renting penthouses on Donald Trump's balls is where she got her gold card. So that, just to be clear, because she wouldn't be able to accept no American money, do the traveling that she did if she was still undocumented. Of course, she had some paperwork working in her favor, but she came here undocumented. She tooted that story, when she was against whoever was running at the time in politics. But she's also had her politics have not always been best. She's rapped about the ops who were supposed to be her ops in favor of them at one point. And then she's done it where, she won a Barack and Michelle type love, and she said she didn't want the Melania and Trump love. We saw that at one of her things. So she's getting all her money's worth or whatever she needs from this, and probably to get her husband off of his pedophilia cases and whatever it is. But
we were
it's
talking
really
that
bad how
was a
this is
state
going
charge, though. Do you know more about that, Rebecca? Because apparently the husband is a state charge, but maybe the cousin is a federal charge.
Yeah.
Different pardons.
Sorry. He has both, and Trump can only pardon federal charges, but most of his charges are state.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
So I do want to bring in our guest really quick because he just arrived. So let me take Nicki Minaj off the screen really quick here. So that way, here we
Hi,
go.
Nikki.
We'll bring her back. But I at least want to introduce our guest here. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
It's great to be here, man.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, Qasim.
Hey, Ariana.
Happy to
good
have
see
you, Qasim. Followed you for a very long time. I don't think that we've spoken, but always been a fan of your work. Really happy
Thank
to
you.
see you here.
Thank you. Good to connect, man. Good to connect with good people trying to fight fascism. So I'm game.
Absolutely. So tell the chat, I'm sure most of the chat knows who you are, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and what you've been up to lately.
Yeah, man. I'm a human rights lawyer. I've been working in the space for about 15 years. Content creator as well. And the funny thing is, I was talking to Ariana about this. YouTube is my oldest platform. It's also my smallest platform. So I'm trying to get it up to something respectable. Got off to a good start. But a lot of my work focuses on human rights, racial justice, gender justice, economic justice, kind of anything that touches human rights, whether it's domestic or international. I'm my priority is to be well read and researched on it and be able to talk about these things intelligently. Certainly lean left by contemporary standards, but I'm not at all shy about criticizing Democrats. I was joking. Hakeem Jeffries muted me on Threads because I was going after him so hard, which I'll take that as a badge of honor. But yeah, I'm at Qasim Rashid across all platforms, Substack, Facebook, Instagram, what have you. And great to be here, man.
Yeah, happy to have you.
Good to have you.
Ariana says you've been doing a lot of work with the Minneapolis occupation currently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still on the ground there or whatnot, but can you tell us a little bit about the situation and what you've been experiencing?
Yeah, I'm back home now, but I had a chance to be out there. I was out there the day before Alex Preddy was shot and killed down the street, on the same street just down from where he was killed. And, there's two things that I learned being there. One, people are severely traumatized. I mean, there is a real trauma everywhere you go. You walk into a shop, the shopkeeper looks up to make sure that it's not an ICE fascist, that it's somebody that they can recognize and trust. You walk into any kind of personal establishment. Faith communities have signs. Churches, mosques, synagogues have signs outside that ICE is not welcome here. And it's important because we already know the ICE memo from May 12th of last year saying that they don't need judicial warrants to raid these private estates. So it's clear-cut fascism. So people are traumatized from that. Parents are afraid their kids are going to be scooped up. Kids are afraid they're going to come home and their parents are gone. And that trauma is real. But the second thing that I learned is that they're not paralyzed. They're active. They're engaged. They're supporting one another. They're getting each other food. Those who are undocumented or may have immigration status in process are being helped by those who are citizens. And shout out to the white people of Minnesota because they're stepping up and give credit where due. They're leading by example. They're putting themselves in harm's way and they're pushing back against these ICE fascists. And we got a long way to go, but I think what Minnesota is doing right now, I mean, he's got 3,000 ICE agents over there, which is more than the next 10 largest police departments in Minnesota combined. But what Minnesota is doing is they're showing a practical, proven strategy for a community to come together, work together, and counter this fascism. And I think one of the reasons why Trump is so adamant on trying to crush what's happening in Minnesota is because that model, if it spreads nationally, if every city organizes and activates the way that Minneapolis is, it's going to make that job infinitely more difficult. 75 billion won't be enough at that point. And I think his thought process is, if I can crush this here and not let it spread, then it's going to make my life easier. And one of the reasons I wanted to go there, I'm here in Chicago, is I wanted to see firsthand the way they're organizing, the way they're working together. I was there with Reverend Black, who, if you recall, was at the Broadview ICE facility. He was shot in the head with salt pellets or something by an ICE fascist. And so he was there with me. It was a interfaith event. You had Christians, Muslims, Jews, believers, non-believers, Hindus, Sikhs. It was fantastic. And I think it's that unity that scares the crap out of this regime because they want us to keep fighting in these culture wars. And it's that unity that Minneapolis and Minnesotans are embracing that I think nationwide we got to lean into as well.
Yeah, I was hoping you could talk through to some of the tactics that you've seen that have been the most effective. We've seen like a variety of tactics on the ground.
Yeah.
Just in my state of Oregon, in Beaverton, where there's a really heavy ICE
Yeah.
presence,
Yeah.
there's basically neighborhood watches that have been formed to
Yep.
escort children to and from schools, families to and from grocery stores. That's been really effective as well. Another thing that I've seen is just like general civics courses teaching people their
Yep.
basic rights. What in your experience is like the biggest deterrent against ICE?
Well, one is education and awareness. I remember Tom Homan complaining about Chicago that we had done such an effective job of educating people on our rights, about the difference between a warrant and an ICE detainer, about the need for the judicial warrant to be signed, about what information they're required to give an ICE agent and what information they don't have to give an ICE agent. And so Homan went on national television and complained that they're having difficulty arresting people here because everyone is so attuned with their rights. And, just as a sidebar, if you're following the law as a government, you shouldn't be complaining that people know their rights. You should actually be happy about that. But these guys aren't really interested in following the law. And so educating folks on the civic aspect of it is super critical. Most people don't actually know the difference between an ICE detainer and a judicial warrant. So educating them on that is important. Most people don't know that ICE and law enforcement can lie to you and tell you whatever they need to tell you to get you to speak, but you cannot lie to them under any circumstance. And you should never lie to them because there is a no-win scenario for you in that situation. Most people don't realize that if they have their phone on Face ID, then they can unlock your phone using your Face ID and go through it. But if it's locked with a passcode, they can't force you to enter the passcode and get into it. And so, these little subtle things go a long way, or the fact that you should have your A number memorized, you should have your lawyer's number memorized, your family should know where you are at all times. Like, these little subtle things can go a long way to just jam up the process and make it more difficult. And then other things, like a community thing that's happening in Minnesota, is every freaking person has a whistle. So they see ICE and they start blowing their whistles and announce right away that ICE is in the vicinity. It spreads. And then anyone who might be a suspect, because to ICE, everyone's a suspect, can then decide, hey, I need to get to a place of safety. And people are literally hiding their neighbors and getting them to a place where they can be safe until ICE passes. But I'll close with this. ICE is getting smart about it. They're starting to embed themselves. They already, were hiding their identities with their masks and with their, their sunglasses and their hoodies. Now they're shedding all of that and pretending to be just one of the guys in the street, not making any indication that they're going completely undercover. And that's also scary because now they're kind of trying to embed themselves and then flag for their the rest of the ICE fascists of, here's this person, come grab them at this place in time. So we got to be more careful because they're getting smarter as well.
And while you're covering this, like as a creator, a journalist who's on the ground giving people, first sight on what's going on, how hard has it been for you? Because I know that ICE, when they see anybody with their cell phone or media, you're instantly a target. And we know that they're targeting people, anybody who's trying to cover this on the ground. So how hard has it been for you?
Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel. I've been protesting these ICE facilities here in Chicago for the last 7-8 months. And on 2 occasions, I've been nearly arrested for something that you would consider arbitrary. We were standing behind a cement barricade 200 meters away from the ICE facility, and the cops start screaming at us to move, just completely arbitrarily. And I stopped to ask the question, I need to understand why. And they just started arresting people. I mean, like, no answer, just started. And on another occasion, I stood on a barrier to get a better shot. The cop tells me to get down. I said, why? He goes, well, I can't force you to, but it's for your own safety. And I said, yeah, I'm sure you're worried about my safety. I'm fine. I took the pictures I wanted. There's a guy next to me taking pictures as well. I walk away. 30 seconds later, I turn back. They arrested the other guy. And so keeping your head on a swivel is really important. Keeping your calm is extremely important, and that can be difficult when they're screaming in your face. At one of the protests I was at, they arbitrarily deployed pepper spray and pepper balls, and I was not directly hit. I was about 50 feet away, but the air became so toxic that everyone's coughing, you're moving away, and it was arbitrary. I mean, there was no movement by us. We were literally sitting there singing songs and talking to one another and just being present. They deploy these pepper balls. And lo and behold, I look on the news an hour later, and Pam Bondi is on national television saying, 200 rioters attacked the ICE facility, and in self-defense, they had to deploy these pepper balls. And that's where the next point comes in. Record everything, because I put out my video that this is what she's talking about. We're sitting there minding our business, exercising our First Amendment constitutionally protected right of peaceful protest, and they just arbitrarily attacked us. And so having that in front of you, having your camera in front of you and being able to record everything is going to be critical. If you read the DHS statement on the murder of Alex Preddy, it is a completely different reality than what actually happened. If you read the Minnesota Police Department statement on the murder of George Floyd, it's a completely different statement than what actually happened. And just remember, law enforcement can lie. There's no restriction to them lying, and corporate media is just going to be stenographers and just repeat what they have to say. That's why we need to be present and bear witness and record and upload this stuff as soon as possible.
And that's a great point, because with Alex, they immediately, while his body was still on the ground, put out misinformation, lies on purpose. They controlled the narrative. They did the same thing for Renee. They did the same thing for Keith Porter Jr. They did the same thing with the ones that they're not covering, the immigrants that they've killed, that they've not covering, even the ones that are within the immigration detention centers. So it is tough to combat that, especially with you being somebody who's on the ground covering this stuff, and they're telling us not to believe what we're seeing and not to trust y'all, but to trust what they're saying. So definitely, well, thank you for even going out there and doing what you're doing. You said you're out in Chicago. I know that there was the big story last year where they went to the apartment complex and took them children and people and in the middle of the night. And so are they still protesting about that there, or is there still a big ICE presence there?
There's not as big as like Minnesota or Maine, or as I'm hearing now, Arizona, but they do have an ICE processing facility in Broadview, Illinois, which is a suburb just outside the city limits on the west side of Chicago. And we're there every week, at least on Friday and Saturday, protesting. And even though it's, I think right now it's like -11 with the wind chill, almost as cold as Minnesota, you're still seeing 500, 1,000 people show up every single week. So there still is a strong presence. And I think that's one of the things that is inspiring me the most, that you're seeing ordinary folks come out, folks who have a 9-to-5, who could be at work, who could be resting, but they're making it a point to come out there and be present and be adamant about it. And I think my message to folks watching this, or to folks who haven't been out yet, what are you waiting for? There's no time like the present, just to be out, be present. And I've taken at least a dozen people with me that have never gone before, just to show them, hey, it's not as scary as they're making it out to be. And your safety actually is not in the comfort of your home right now. Your safety is to be out here exercising your First Amendment right while we still can. Because if there's one thing that I think is explicitly clear to me, is that it's going to get worse. They are going to escalate the violence. And the only way we can prevent that is to preempt that. And that is by being present and taking up that space before they can.
Yeah, and not backing down. I was hoping you would speak just as an attorney to the memo that we heard about, I believe it was last week, where ICE was being instructed, this is according to a memo that a whistleblower released, that they were able to enter homes without a warrant. We already know that they've been presenting just administrative warrants as if they're the same as judicial warrants, and they're hoping that they trick people. But now that they're just like not even going for the optics, and they're breaking down people's doors, as was the case with 57-year-old Chong Lee Scott Tao and other individuals as well. How do you respond to that? Because the law is supposed to put up these guardrails for government, but when they're not even complying with the most basic expectations of what we're expected to have, from a democratic republic, right? The Fourth Amendment and whatnot. What are you supposed to do? I was just hoping you could kind of give us your take from the legal perspective, because it's been really jarring to me as somebody who's not well versed in the law.
It's such an important question. You're talking about a May 12th memo from last year, where they said that rather than getting a judicial warrant, if in the ICE agent's determination there's a valid reason, then they can go in and arrest somebody in their homes or go in their homes without a judicial warrant, which fundamentally destroys the point of separation of powers, in that it's not up to the enforcement agency to decide what is a valid reason. It is up to the judiciary. That's a power exclusively reserved for the judiciary. For them to violate that is to violate just the foundational principle of due process in the 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendment, the foundational principle of right to privacy in the 4th Amendment. I mean, it's just a violation of everything that separates a democratic republic from a dictatorship. A judge in Minnesota just a couple of days ago, put into the public record that ICE in Minnesota has violated nearly 100, I think he said 96 court orders. 96 court orders that they have violated. That is indefensible, unforgivable. And the question then to your question is, well, what can be done about this? Well, here's where it gets really interesting, because people see, and Jack Smith talked about this in his testimony last week before Congress, is that people have this notion that the law is self-executing. It's not. It needs to be executed. It needs to be enforced. And when you have Pam Bondi, who is basically Trump's private lawyer at this point, and a man in the White House who has zero regard for what the Constitution says or for what the law actually allows him to do, there's no federal investigation here. They're already dropping federal investigations into the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And so they're not going to pursue that. So this is where I think we take a page out of the right-wing playbook and talk about states' rights and talk about the need for state AGs to step up. And Keith Ellison, I know him. He's an excellent AG. I know he's working in this space right now. I've seen Kwame Raoul here in Illinois, but I want to see more. I want to see states band together and support one another and be able to prosecute these on a state level, or pass legislation that would make these acts criminal on a state level. States have the right to do that. Things that are illegal in one state are perfectly legal in another state. So states have that sovereignty to be able to pass that kind of legislation. So I want to see Democrats in these states, especially where they have a trifecta in the House, the Senate, and the governor's mansion, to be able to pass these kinds of legislation that holds ICE more accountable. Newsom, who I've criticized for a million reasons, did pass legislation to ban face masks in California. I think we need to have more of that legislation and more aggressive legislation as well. So, that's where the actual enforcement is going to come. It's not going to come on the federal level. But I think what's really scary at this point is that Trump is now at a place of dictatorial levelness where he knows that if he loses in 26, or if in 28 a Democrat wins the White House, assuming we have elections, that he knows that the same extreme rules that he's applied are now going to be applied towards him. He's been vindictive. He's gone after Letitia James. He's gone after James Comey. He's going after every person he can imagine. So now he's set the precedent that the president can go after his political enemies and nobody can do a damn thing about it. He knows it's going to come back to him tenfold. God, I hope that it comes back tenfold, unless Democrats decide to capitulate again, which they actually might. But he knows there's a very high likelihood that it comes back. And so what people who are aspiring dictators do in that situation is say, you know what, I'm just not going to give up power. I'm just going to maintain power. I've gone this far. Let me just go a little bit further. And I think that's the scary part. ICE has a $75 billion budget. He's got the powers that be, the FBI in his pocket, the DOJ in his pocket, the CIA in his pocket. I can see him escalate violence to prevent him from losing midterms, and then escalate violence further to prevent him from having to leave office in 28. That's the scary version that I think we need to be very cognizant of. And that's why I hope Democrats, get their crap together and stop giving this guy any leeway or leverage whatsoever.
He's tried to steal an election before too, so it wouldn't even be the first time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and a failed insurrection becomes a training exercise if it's not punished, which is what it's become at this point.
Yeah, and it's horrifying because he has everything to gain by breaking more laws. Because at this point, I feel like he's broken so many laws that it doesn't make sense to not break more laws to stay in power illegally, so you don't get prosecuted. So he has an incentive at this point. He's gone too far where you can't really turn it around. Your point about states' rights to me is really interesting, and I was hoping to pick your brain a little bit more on this in terms of what can they do? There's a lot of quick fixes being proposed. There is the idea that Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, have the police arrest ICE agents. There's also this idea that Tim Walz should use the National Guard, assuming Trump doesn't nationalize it, to get them to try to, keep the peace more. My fear about that and hesitation with any law enforcement as a solution is that law enforcement is going to side with ICE over the people. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that, and if there's any more practical things that the mayor and the governor can do. I know the legislation is probably obviously the most meaningful thing that they can do, but in the short term, tomorrow, a week from Now, is there anything that Tim Walz or Jacob Frey can do to really try to rein in the lawlessness here from ICE?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are tactics that they can employ to slow down ICE. Ultimately, federal supremacy clause is going to trump state laws, so they can't necessarily overrule ICE, but they can slow them down. They can forbid ICE from using any state facilities whatsoever. They can forbid ICE from using any state or county jails. One of the reasons why so-called alligator Alcatraz was built was because they needed to build additional facilities. They can forbid the building of those federal facilities. There's things called 287G agreements, which is in a federal agreement that local city councils adopt that says that local police will be deputized to work for ICE and just do whatever the hell ICE wants them to do. The state of Illinois, for example, has passed a statewide ban on those. And this is important because when Trump came back into power a year ago, there were about 300, maybe 285 localities nationwide that had these 287G agreements. I was in Virginia during Trump's first term, and in a locality, we actually worked to break a 287G agreement and stop the local county from working with ICE, which is a huge win. But the reason why these are so significant is because Trump recognizes this is a great way for him to get his tentacles in on the local level. And in just the last year alone, that number has grown from just under 300 to well over 1,500 cities around the country that have these 287G agreements. So passing state legislation or passing even an executive order in the meantime to ban these can go a long way. There's no one quick fix it, but I think kind of compiling these together collectively is going to help kind of put some sand in the gears of ICE and slow them down significantly. One of the frustrations with Governor Pritzker here has been why state police assisting ICE in protecting the Broadview facility. One, we're not attacking it, but two, this is an ICE issue. This is a federal issue. Why is the state supporting and helping? And this is kind of what I mean, that across the country, we need to see Democratic governors recognize that this is not a thought exercise anymore. You should assume that this man is a full-blown fascist, one, because he's admitted to it, but two, because the next step is going to result in much more violence. We already have concentration camps. Let's just be clear about that. We already have documented evidence of systemic child rape of migrant children by ICE and DHS. We already have ample evidence of people being tortured and raped in these ICE gulags. What more do they need to see? It's indefensible as it is. And so I think every precautionary measure and every proactive measure that mayors and governors can take, they should be taking. The mayor of Chicago has passed an executive order banning any ICE presence on any city property whatsoever. And so now they're forced to have to go to state property. Governor Pritzker doesn't want that. So now they're forced to have to go to private property, and private property then has to figure out, if I rent to these guys, am I going to lose my customer base? Am I going to be ostracized? Am I going to be doxxed? All these things that go through their mind. So it's made it very difficult for them. Hasn't eliminated them because there's still plenty of federal property in every state. But again, it just makes it much more difficult. And that's really the goal right now.
That's interesting.
So with the cops, we already know how we feel about them. We have defund the police, abolish the police. ICE is like on an extreme level of law enforcement right now. Anybody can get it, basically. Yep. And there seems to be a disconnect in Minneapolis that people are witnessing when it comes to, law enforcement getting there, police officers getting there to the scene and not being able to handle the situations that involve ICE when they're murdering people or, shooting them with gas or rubber bullets or whatever. They're not able to really take care of anything because ICE basically pauses the moment until they get word from ICE or, their bosses. So what is that like? And we're seeing we're seeing this fallout happen in real time where there's a disconnect, right? They're not joining forces. Do you think that there'll be something where the police start to speak up and do their own type of protests and handle the situation and be able to act when ICE does this at some point? Or do you think that ICE will continue to grow in their power and just nothing gets done?
Rebecca, I think if law enforcement was going to speak up, they would have spoken up by now. Mm-hmm. If local police were going to speak up, they would have spoken up by now. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have any interest in speaking up. Simple as that. Prove me wrong. Maybe I'll be dead wrong. But I forget which congressman or senator it was, but he goes, $75 billion for ICE is way too much. My bill reallocates that to local police. And I'm like,
oh my God.
What the hell's the matter with you? Like police kill 2,000 people a year already. Like how is that going to solve anything?
No, like I fear you missed the point completely.
Yeah.
Do that.
So I don't think that's gonna happen, Rebecca. I mean, I love your optimism, and I would love to be sit here and say, yeah, it's gonna happen any day now, but it's not. It's just simply not. Remember, qualified immunity, the same qualified immunity that JD Vance is citing to ICE officers to do whatever the hell you want because you got qualified immunity. That same qualified immunity applies to police officers too.
Yes.
And they know that, and so they know that if we go against ICE and call them out, then we're exposing ourselves, and that's fundamentally the problem here. So it's not, and that's why I keep saying to these people like Cory Booker and Hakeem Jeffries and these other corporate Democrats that the problem with untrained fascists is not that they're untrained; it's that they're fascists. And you don't train fascists to become better killers. You abolish them. Like, this isn't complicated. I was just laughing to myself when Kristi Noem just said, "Look, everything I've done at the behest of Trump and Stephen Miller." Well,
just following orders.
Just following orders.
Just following orders.
Right? Like Nuremberg already taught us that is not a valid defense, but that's the stage that we're at right now. And so I think the actual solution is going to be just mass movement of people. That's the only thing that's ever actually worked in the past. The Montgomery bus boycott is a perfect example of that. That people forget that, it lasted like 13 months or 14 months. But people forget that like a month in, the bus company said, okay, Black people can sit wherever they want. And what did they do? They said, no, we don't care about this individual bus company. We want to change the system that is allowing segregation to perpetuate. And it wasn't until the Supreme Court ruled that this segregation is wrong nationally, until the system was changed. It wasn't until that happened that the boycott actually ended. And so, these nominal things like trading Bovino for Tom Homan. Somebody on Twitter or Thread said that exchanging Bovino for Homan is like crapping your pants and changing your shirt. Like, it doesn't actually solve a damn thing. It's a nasty visual, but it actually applies pretty appropriately over here.
Oh, that's apt.
That's where we are right now.
I do have a question. So from my understanding of the Montgomery bus boycott was that it was super planned out for months and months ahead. Rosa Parks was picked out very prior to that. I mean, I feel like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, this could partially be my ignorance as well. I feel like when it comes to that era, there were very specific leaders telling people, like very specific leaders, very specific direction, and a lot of solidarity, right? Like community solidarity. I think the struggle that I'm having now is that I'm not seeing that, especially within the left wing of politics. I think left wing of politics right now is super divided and fractured. Like, you have leftists, liberals, etc. I don't know who the person who's like leading is, right? There's the No Kings people, but that's kind of turned into parades at this point. I'm sorry, I know you guys aren't gonna like this, but like I feel like they're more resemblance of parades than anything specific. I know we have a general strike tomorrow, which I plan on participating in, but I'm struggling to see that Montgomery bus boycott vision in today's world, if that makes sense.
No, I see your point, Ariana. And remember, who was the lead of the Montgomery bus boycott? It was a 26-year-old Dr. King. And when you have Dr. King as the man leading a boycott, you're in pretty good hands. You could argue pretty eloquently that we don't really have a Dr. King equivalent today. We don't have a Malcolm X equivalent today. And that's true. We don't have a Claudette Colvin. Somebody mentioned a 15-year-old girl ignited that boycott. They're right. Claudette Colvin, 9 months before Rosa Parks, a 15-year-old Black girl named Claudette Colvin refused to get up and was arrested and was just charged with assault because she kicked a police officer, which I love the fact that she kicked a police officer for standing up against segregation. And the reason why she wasn't, picked was because she was dark-skinned and because she was pregnant. Rosa Parks wasn't pregnant. She was light-skinned. Colorism obviously was a reality and still is a reality. But to your point, Ariana, it was extraordinarily well-planned, well in advance. It wasn't, people seem to think like it was just this viral moment where she just decided one day, I'm not going to get up. And then no, it was well-planned. They had the lawsuit ready to be filed. It was filed. And that is what needs to happen today. There are some lawyers that I think are doing a good job. Mark Elias, I think, is doing a good job. Ben Crump is doing a good job. There's more that we can talk about. But I agree. I don't think we have that level of organization. Where's the Fred Hampton of today, right? I mean, all these black civil rights leaders were killed through COINTELPRO. And we're seeing similar levels of censorship today, for sure. But that's a reality, that there needs to be more organization. There needs to be more coordination. That's not happening right now, because I think even among the left, there's this massive divide between these corporate Democrats like the Chuck Schumers and Cory Bookers and Hakeem Jeffries of the world, and then actual leftists who are less focused on corporate money and more focused on grassroots activism. And the focus on grassroots activism, I think, have the people, but they don't have the resources. The folks of the people have the money, but they don't have the people. And that's kind of where, how do we find that mesh? It was supposed to be Joe Biden stepping aside gracefully after 2 years and letting there be a robust, primary. He didn't do that, and we can talk till blue in the face about that. But no, Ariana, I think you have an extraordinarily important point. We don't really have that coordination. This is why I say to folks, rather than losing hope, look at the Minnesota model, look at what they're doing on a local level. And they're killing it on a local level. Like, their coordination is fantastic on a local level. That's something that each of us can and should be doing in our localities.
I agree. Ariana, with your point, it won't be the same. It's 2026. A lot of things have changed. People are very much in a place where if it's too much for them, they don't want to lose their jobs. It's just a different time like that. So people, the fear mongering, it tends to work. But the divide is huge, right? Yeah. That's why I don't consider myself all the way left, but I ain't right. Because a lot of how the left functions today is not the same way that I remember when I first got in, like 10 years ago, working in politics as a journalist. So, and I also will say this, back then, Black folks really were trying to get a life, like have something. They were the target. So it was like, let's figure out how we gonna live here, get us something, live. Right now, the focus is immigrants. Immigrants are like literally on the bottom of the totem pole. Black and brown folks, immigrants, they're on the bottom. So people really kind of have an idea in general that they're here in this country illegally. They're criminalized even before Donald Trump. The whole idea of immigrants is, they're criminalized. They're coming to this country taking jobs, or they're lazy, whichever one, because it's never right. But a lot of people really don't care to fight for immigrants. While what's happening right now in Minnesota, they want ICE out. They're causing a ruckus in their city. They want ICE out. You're not seeing a lot of immigrants out there protesting. You're seeing white folks protest. Get out of my city. You're causing a mess over here. You're killing our people. You're doing all of this, So that's what we're seeing more of. And because it's not at people's front doors, they really don't give a damn. They're seeing it. They'll get online. Protesting for them right now can be digital if they put up a post or something like that. But a lot of people don't want to lose their jobs. A lot of people are getting threats saying, hey, seeing your social media, and because of that, you're losing your job. So they make it so that people have this huge fear of participating. Even on tomorrow, people in my chat are talking about the general strike, all over, right? America. Everybody's supposed to be not going to work, not contributing, not doing anything tomorrow. But it's going to be hard for people who just can't do it. And that's kind of what the reason is. If it was where people really had nothing to lose, and they would just really be out there doing what they need to do. I'm pretty sure. Like where they're like, listen, it's already down and out for me, so that's the case. But it's just a lot of moving pieces. And again, because it's an immigrant issue, supposedly because ICE is killing everybody. But because it's not the biggest thing on everybody's mind right now to really associate themselves with that.
Yeah, you're right, Rebecca. And I'll add two thoughts to your really, really thoughtful points, is that this immigrant aspect has kind of been the oldest trick in the book, right? I mean, notwithstanding the genocide and enslavement of Black and Indigenous people, as the country grew to non-white people or who are not perceived white, the immigrant aspect of it, people forget the SS St. Louis, a ship of Jewish refugees escaping the Holocaust, was turned away. They could see the lights of Miami, and the Truman sent them away and said, nope, I don't want you here. A third of them died in the Holocaust. The polling from that time tells us that like 70% of Americans didn't want Jewish people here because they were afraid that there were secret Nazi spies inside that were going to harm them. And so that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is I really want to double down on this point you made, Rebecca, about people are afraid of losing their livelihood. That is a real threat. We already live in a country where 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck or can't even make ends meet. We have the worst wealth and income inequality in the history of this country, in at least post Great Depression. In fact, I think even from before Great Depression, 1 in 5 children are food insecure. And I think like 3 men control more than the bottom 50% of this country, bottom 170 million people. I can give you my own personal example. I'm an attorney, and I criticized a judge on Twitter because he arrested a U.S. citizen on an ICE detainer. The citizen showed that, hey, I have a birth certificate, I'm a U.S. citizen, but the judge's like, no, I'm going to keep you in prison anyway. And I went on Twitter and said, this is what happened. It's a violation of due process. This is fascism. This judge scoured the internet, apparently, found my tweet, and filed a 30-page bar complaint to get me disbarred.
Wow.
Because I tweeted that this is
fascism. I remember this era.
Remember this, right? All right. I remember calling Ariana like, what the hell? And by the way,
yeah, he literally called me and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, damn,
that's so unhinged for a judge.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It was a chief judge in Florida. And what's really wild about it is he's not going to suffer any consequences. And just to kind of just drive home the point, I'm a lawyer. I have malpractice insurance. But the malpractice insurance said, well, you weren't actually practicing law. You were tweeting, and your policy doesn't cover Twitter. So we're not going to pay for your litigation defense. You can either admit you were wrong and hope the court goes lenient on you, or you can fight it and pay for it yourself. I'm like, well, hell no, I'm not going to admit I was wrong, because that's insane. I defied it myself. You guys, I had to spend nearly $20,000 of my own money to fight and defend this.
Yeah.
That's insane. And I'm not going to get a penny of it back. People don't have 20K lying around. And so, that is where people are, I think, rightfully afraid. And I don't knock people who are in those positions for not speaking up, because I get it. The only people that I actually knock are those who are of means, like who have money, who have power, who have status, and are still cowardly. Like someone like a Mark Zuckerberg. My dude, you got more money than you could ever even imagine, and you're still, getting down on your hands and knees and begging Trump and bootlicking him. Like, what is the point of FU money if you're still going to be someone's little minion and do whatever fascist things they want you to do? So that's a reality. And for those watching, I'll make a plug to every person on here. You should be supporting these independent journalists and voices. Subscribe to them, throw them a few bucks a month, because it goes a long way and it's important. And it's one thing that allows us to be able to speak truth to power without fear of, hey, if I say this, am I going to lose the ability to pay my rent? Especially as corporate media is groveling before Trump. These independent voices are what's going to carry us through. So if you have a few extra bucks, if you don't worry about it. But if you do, definitely invest, because if we want a future where we have actual voices speaking truth to power, we got to invest in that future too.
No, Qasim, I'm so sorry, Rebecca. Give me 1 second. I really appreciate the shout out, but like, first of all, we need to tell people to subscribe to your YouTube before you shout us out, because that's crazy. I put his YouTube in the private chat for everyone else to put his YouTube in, but we're trying to get him to 30,000 subscribers, and he's clearly a badass. So
I'm posting that in the
subscribe, people.
Absolutely. Everybody go subscribe right now.
This man has been my mentor for years, and a year, I think, a little over a year, and I vouch for him wholeheartedly. He's like the uncle I never had. So please, everyone, go subscribe. But anyways, Rebecca, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, absolutely. Make sure you guys definitely subscribe. I've seen your work online. My partner Benjamin Dixon, he's always reposting your things and all the things. But agreed with what you said. Now, one thing about a lot of people that I know in my space, they've forfeited their jobs because of the work that they do. Even for me, y'all know my story. I stay up on here talking about it. For me, I'm one of the journalists that used to work all day in journalism, but things changed for me. So I had to work a 9 to 5 plus do this work. Because of what I do, it's very hard for me to work both, because I'm always getting a little virtual tap on the shoulder, like, hey, looks like we seen what you do, and this and that and the other. I have a new job that I'm actually starting on Monday, right? And I was pulled to the side before I got the job, and he was like, hey, yeah, we like you. You're going to be working with a lot of people who don't like probably what you do. And so just letting you know, not knowing how that's going to go. I'm not saying that I like what you do. I'm not saying that I don't like what you do, but I see what you do. And they're going to see what you do at HR. So not really sure how that's going to go for you. But so I'm just like, and I said straight up, hey, I understand. The work that I do is not going to stop though. It's not going to stop. This is what I do. And so let me know now. And he's just like, well, I like you. I think you're good for the role. So that's what I have to deal with that constantly. So some days it's tough. Some days I'm breezing through, and some days it's really tough. So when you choose to do this work at all, it's like your livelihood is, especially under this administration, it's like you become a target. Wherever they are. There's a Haitian journalist who got in trouble and immediately was sent into immigration detention, and he's on his way back to Haiti. All because it was some incident. Police came and they didn't even try him, see him, give him anything, just put him straight into immigration jail. And they said that he was on their list because they've been looking. They're like, okay, yeah, he's been on our list. He's somebody who speaks against the administration, so his behind is headed back to Haiti and has no chances of coming back to America. So these are things that people have to think about when they're doing this work. But it's like, who else is going to speak up? They really want to shut a lot of us, all of us here down with the work that we do, what we cover, minimize it. And so we deal with that every day. But for people who have their jobs at they're getting threatened at their little retail jobs. Listen, you gonna come here, don't come here talking to any politics, don't come here doing X, Y, and Z if you want to keep your job, because we don't want that at our door. And it's like, who knows when ICE is gonna show up to the local Target? Who knows when ICE is gonna show up to Publix, So it's just they make it really difficult for people to want to get out there. People are afraid that they're gonna die. They're afraid that, so even with Minnesota minimizing the amount of ICE agents, it only takes one. It only takes one ICE agent. So that's why it's just the fear mongering. It seems to be working right now. And so people are just like, yeah, I'm just not sure if I can be a part of that, even though at my kitchen table, my politics are right, but I don't think I can really involve myself into that. So that's what you're seeing a lot of.
Yep. Yeah, well said.
Qasim, I was hoping before, I'm not sure how much time you have, but I was hoping that we could briefly at least circle back to the conversation about like knowing your rights, because I think that it's so important that we pick your brain now. I was hoping that you could delineate like the actual authority, at least like assuming they follow the law, that ICE has over citizens versus immigrants. Like everybody has due process rights, but
and
that's
just
not
one quick second before you answer that. I just want to say, Hassan, you're an absolute legend. I've been following you on Twitter for a long time, and I think you do incredible work. I actually have to take off for a family event.
Take off,
I
Lance.
didn't mean to-
Lance.
Thanks, brother.
Hi,
Appreciate you.
Lance.
Bye, everybody.
See you, Lance.
Thank you, man.
So basically, can you explain what authority does ICE have over civilians? Because in theory, they're supposed to be for immigration enforcement, but they're arresting citizens, and to the extent that they can do that, we're not seeing them read them Miranda rights. And then on the other side, you have immigrants who do have rights. They're being detained for weeks, months. There was a letter that I read of this woman with her 3 children, or maybe it was 2 children, I'm not sure, but she was detained for 8 months. Doesn't know when she's going to be let out. The 5-year-old that was sent to a concentration camp in Texas, Liam Ramos, he's now very lethargic. He's sickly. He's been there for a week. And is there any limit to how long they can keep them there, like a 24-hour hold, 48-hour hold, before they determine like, okay, we're going to deport you or charge you or whatever? Like, what in theory is supposed to be the protocol for that, for citizens versus immigrants? Because it seems like there's no real protocol they're following. It's just kind of what they feel like is appropriate.
Mike, let me start by saying that the confusion you're feeling is exactly what they want. They want us to be confused as hell as to what's going on. It's not you're a super smart guy and you can't figure it out, not because you're not smart, but because it's designed to confuse. This is the whole point of it. This whole idea of like, well, why don't they just come legally? Trump over the last year has revoked the valid visas of millions of immigrants. And so with a stroke of a pen, millions of people who did everything right, everything the way they were supposed to, jumped through all the hoops, paid all the exorbitant fees, waited through all the lines, got their biometrics, got their criminal background checks in this country, their home country, every country they've been in, did everything the way they were supposed to. This fascist with a stroke of the pen says, you know what? No, you're all illegal suddenly. So this whole argument of why don't they just come legally is a farce. It's nonsense. There is not a single descendant of a European colonizer whose ancestors did a fraction of what is being required of people right now. Not even a fraction. So there's just no comparison. So for them to say, well, you know, my grandfather came here legally, by today's standards, he was the most illegal of immigrants, using their words. I use undocumented because that's a humane way to recognize people. But according to their language, their own grandfathers and grandmothers are the most illegal there is. So that's one. Two, the Supreme Court has made it extraordinarily confusing as well. Because the Supreme Court, being a right-wing mega court, has basically thrown out any sense of precedence. And the Kavanaugh ruling recently just flat out said that, hey, looking at someone's ethnicity is a valid reason to question someone's citizenship. That is fascism. It's absurd. There is no definition of an American. Kavanaugh is basically saying that unless he's a straight white male that likes to drink beer like me, you can question him because he may not be a citizen. Folks don't realize there are about 600,000 undocumented, mostly white Canadian and European immigrants in this country right now. 600,000. That's bigger than most cities. When was the last time you saw them rounding up white kids and putting them in cages and separating them from their parents? It's not going to happen because this is not about immigration. It's about white supremacy. Third thing, now to really drill into what rights people have in front of ICE, whether you're an undocumented immigrant or a U.S. citizen, the same due process rights apply to every person in this country. The Constitution does not say that every citizen is afforded these rights or no citizen shall be denied these rights. It says no person. It specifically says no person. And the only argument ever used to deny due process was to say that Black and Indigenous people were subhuman and therefore these rights don't apply to them. The famous Dred Scott ruling that the white supremacist Chief Justice of the 1857 Supreme Court ruled that the due process clause of the Constitution does not apply to Black people because they are subhuman and therefore they are not persons. That's, legal scholars basically point to that as the last ruling that essentially triggered the Civil War at that point in time. And so the Supreme Court, 150 years later, is still doing the same dirty work of right-wing fascists. And when you have a ruling that says that, hey, you can check someone based on skin color, well, then that's a fundamental problem. The Supreme Court has also ruled about this arbitrary 100-mile border, that within 100 miles, the Fourth Amendment doesn't really apply the same way it applies within those 100 miles. And the 100 miles, by the way, doesn't apply to just the border, but it applies to Chicago because even though there's more than 100 miles, apparently we're going to be invaded from the lake. The 100 miles applies not just to the south and northern border, but also to the Atlantic Ocean in case we get invaded by Aquaman and the aqua species that live underwater, apparently. Like, it's just so ridiculous and absurd. Now, finally, long answer to your short question. This is where I've written about this on my Substack. This is where I go back to, if you're a citizen, the only time that ICE can actually arrest you is if they can argue that you are impeding their duties, if you were impeding arrest, if you were causing them harm or threatening them. And as we've seen from Renee Good and Alex Preddy, they will find any goddamn excuse out there to make that claim. Every single excuse possible they will find. So that's why you got to have your head on a swivel. The actual law, as it's been historically applied, even before 2003, before ICE was invented, is that a detainer by an agency, a law enforcement agency, is meritless. It has zero meaning whatsoever. It's as valid as a napkin you use to wipe your mouth after you eat. What actually matters is a signed judicial warrant. So not even a judicial warrant. An unsigned warrant is pathetic. It's worthless. It has to be a signed judicial warrant. And the only way that ICE can get a signed judicial warrant is they have to take their evidence, present it before a judge, show beyond a reasonable doubt, or at least probable cause at that point, or likelihood that this person is guilty of this crime that we're accusing him of. And then the warrant specifies what they are allowed to do, where they are allowed to search, very specifically down to a detail. And then once that is presented, at that point in time, they can detain that person for that particular reason and nothing else. That's the way it's supposed to work. That's not the way it is working right now. And I think people need to be aware of that.
Yeah. Thanks for explaining that, because it is confusing on purpose, and it's really difficult because you see, you try to make heads or tails of what you're seeing and the chaos and all of the different jurisdictional overlap, and there's ICE and then there's Border Patrol, federal, state. It gets muddy. So I appreciate you taking the time to really clarify that because it's overwhelming if you don't have a legal background, and I'm sure it is even if you do, just because there's so much bullshit going on. But before you go, one last time,
Yeah.
can you please plug your work? Tell us more about your Substack, and
Yeah,
I'm going
man.
to put the link to your YouTube in the chat again, and really highly encourage everybody to go and subscribe.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the work you're doing. I appreciate the platform and the conversation. My YouTube is just at my name, at Qasim Rashid. My Substack is also at QasimRashid.com. And I put out daily content on human rights, on basically all these things that corporate media ignores. There's no paywall. None of my content has a paywall. You can be a paid subscriber, but let me be clear, it gets you no special benefit other than the good feeling that you're supporting a human rights lawyer who also is devilishly handsome. That's about it. There's nothing else you're going to get.
Okay. You got me over here nodding.
Me too. I'm like, and okay. I agree.
Two smart, intelligent women nodded, so it must be true now.
You're just like me when it comes to marketing. Subscribe to me, you get nothing in return except what everyone else gets too. And no bonuses.
It just felt salty for me to be like, hey, your rights are under attack, and if you give me $5, I'll tell you how to protect yourself. It just feels so gimmicky and tricky.
No, I hear you.
You can support me, and I'd love it if you do, but I don't ever want someone to support me and put themselves in a financial pinch. But if you do have a few bucks, you help subsidize it for other folks as well. But at Qasim Rashid across all platforms, put out daily content, subscribe, share all the good stuff. But I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much again, Qasim.
Thanks
This has
for
been
coming on.
super enlightening.
Really
appreciate this.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. We'll do this again soon, all right?
Yes, please. That'd be great.
Definitely.
Bye.
That was incredible. That was
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for setting
glad
that
you
up,
guys did.
Ariana.
Takes a lot for me to sit back.
Yeah, of
and
course. I
and be
mean,
quiet. So
yeah. No, Qasim's so great. Like I said, he's been my mentor for a while now. One of the people that I trust with my life. Super, just such a good person inside and out. I 100% vouch for him. I know he's been putting in a lot of work on his YouTube. So I really wanted to also, if you guys haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. But I'm really glad you guys enjoyed that. It was very informative. I even learned things that I didn't know. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was great because it's there's so much going on and news stories just kind of like breeze past you, and like you really have to take the time to learn the intricacies, especially regarding the law, because like as he said, it is so important to know your rights. You know, they're not following the law and the Constitution, but still, it really is a weapon. It's a deterrent, rather, you know, against fascism. At least it still is. But yeah, did you all want to pivot back to? It's hard to go back to a silly topic like Nicki Minaj after that.
now
but I
back
think
to Fox News saying that Nicki Minaj
it's
is the
nice
one
to
who
sandwich
made
serious
what
stories with
I
unserious
feel like
stories.
that's very valid just because like everything we talk about is super heavy. So if we want to talk about other things, we should be able to without you guys scorning us for being leftists that want to have fun. Jeez.
But no, it's even talking about her, it's still, you know, par for the course. Like she literally is a part of the conversation and what's going on.
No, actually.
She represents somebody who, you know, is just like her, but doesn't have the money or doesn't have the opportunity to get up next to Donald Trump and get a gold card or all the things. So, you know, but yeah, seeing her just be up there and be a mess, I definitely don't mind having that conversation. So
it also ties into the conversation we were having with Qasim because I find it so infuriating that she, as an immigrant herself, is aligning with this regime that is terrorizing immigrants. I think that is so cruel. She knows that would be her family too if she wasn't in the position that she's in, but she doesn't care. And one thing that is, if you go to her Twitter right now, let me pull this up. She is crashing out because people are not correctly saying what it was that Trump gave her. So this is just so, by the way, there's like multiple tweets that she has of Chucky. I'm not really sure if this is like a running thing for her.
Yes,
but
it is.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, she says this
Trump
here.
gave her?
Yeah, it's like a running bit.
Oh, okay. I had no idea because I was a fan of her music, but I'm not one of the barbs. I just I listened to it when it came on. But in this one, she says it's the card that she got, referring to the gold card free of charge that Trump gave her, Residency, the cope is coping, finalizing that citizenship paperwork
The
as
cope
we
is
speak,
coping.
as per my wonderful, gracious, charming president, thanks to the petition. So, for those who don't know, there was a petition. It was almost like 100,000 signatures of people saying to deport her to Trinidad because she was apparently undocumented. And she said, I wouldn't have done it without you. So she's kind of like, this is a gotcha to the people who wanted to get her deported. And go ahead, Rebecca.
It's, so for me, and I'm going to just, it started such a xenophobic conversation on the internet.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
I agree.
And that's why I was like, okay, she done did a million different things. We can read her rights. We can say, girl, you are doing this. Meanwhile, Donald Trump would take people like you and ship them back off, right? You just have, and also it's the misinformation that's surrounded too. It's like she came here with no papers, but she wouldn't be a superstar if she had no papers. Like she wouldn't be able to get or make money, if she had nothing that would be documented to allow her to do so. So there was some paperwork, right, that she had that allowed her to do what she did and to be here and because at one point, Nicki Minaj was everybody's queen. She was, the Barbs, she had them all over the internet. And she has this new set of Barbs that don't even know what a Barb it really is on the right. So we can call out the trash that she's doing, the trash that she is, without saying and using xenophobic verbiage. Like we don't have to do that because right now is especially not the time. The kinds of conversations that I seen online that came from that, and even under Olay's recent video, people were literally under there saying like, that's why we don't want your ass here. We never wanted y'all here. Immigrants and immigrants, let's tell the truth. Immigrants are coming here, saying the whole thing and putting that back out there. So we can call her everything in the book, call out what she's doing, talk about her husband and all the things. I just feel like saying the same things that we don't want to happen to these immigrants right now to happen to her. I think that's beside the point because it's going to bring people back to a xenophobic place that they were just at when people were protesting last year in California. Like that's not our fight. We don't want to be a part of that. That ain't, she ain't one of us and all that BS. But let her look stupid. Now, this right here is somebody on. I'm not gonna say she's on drugs. Now that's how I feel.
She's crashing out for sure.
There's something happening there. She's losing out on something. She looks uncomfortable. I don't know, but she's chosen a side. She's not the only one that's chosen a side. We've seen that with Kanye West, who's now trying to do his apology tour again for the 95th time. Yes, the same Kanye that said George Bush don't like black people on TV. Yes, that same man that turned around and became a Nazi and, all the things. Yes, that man that put swastikas on his shirts and was wearing them around. And yes, that man is looking for people, to side with them. Sometimes you got to ignore those people and really focus on the cause at hand. Nicki is garbage. Nicki is trash. Ziggy, stop. But it's my Alexa that I named that, and it's not.
Oh, I thought it was like a cat or something.
No, but it's crazy. But yeah, I just feel like when we're seeing what she got going on, we just know somebody crashing out. Somebody needs some money. She losing her house, or something's going on here. So this is what they do. They buddy up with Donald Trump. Who is it? Those celebrities, like we mentioned Kanye West. Who was it that was supposed to be on some kind of country tour with Kid Rock? I think it was supposed to be
Ludacris.
Nelly and Ludacris. Yes, you're right.
Nelly and Ludacris.
Business. Yes, Ludacris. And Ludacris decided, mind you, Ludacris knew damn well who was headlining. He knew what he was doing. He said he wasn't aware. He wasn't aware. It took him a few days, maybe a week, before he spoke up and took himself off of that.
Oh, good. Okay, that makes me feel better because I still like Ludacris. I would like to not have to cancel him too.
Oh, people were in his ass. They was like, "Listen, Luda, no, we already know Nelly. He stood 10 toes down for the cause." And there was a time where Nelly was just like, "We just got to really hear what Donald Trump got to say." No way, okay? Like, no, you got to go, friend. You got to go, and that's pretty much it. But he's still getting his money. People still support, just like they did Kanye West. But Luda said, "You know what? They on my ass." So let me go ahead and let them know I didn't know that I was supposed to be on this tour. He withdrew, and
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. But and so another person that recently got canceled in 2 seconds, Tom from MySpace. I don't know if you know him, Ariana.
Tom from
but
MySpace.
Tom
You don't know
from
Tom from
MySpace. Did you say who
MySpace.
for real?
Who is Tom from MySpace?
Oh, we're gonna have to explain
Oh
this
my
to
God.
her.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So before
Tom,
Facebook,
Am I the only one that doesn't know this, or am I?
it's because it's not your fault. It's because you're Gen Z and we're all millennials.
You have to understand, we were all on MySpace before there was a Facebook, before there
Yeah,
was.
I've never experienced that.
Tom was the
the best
first
thing in life,
friend
baby.
that we all had on MySpace. So when you
You
create your
missed it.
account, you're all friends with Tom at first.
Yes, he was in your top 5, top 10, whatever. But Tom was in the
Yeah.
corner with his little, his little pose, whatever he was doing. Yeah, but he got canceled immediately. Which I'm like, what happened? Because I thought we were all like, we miss MySpace and we want MySpace, to get back. And then he gets on. I want to say it was Threads or something, and everybody saw that he had like SpaceX in his bio and something else, and they were like, we don't fuck with Tom, we don't fuck with Tom, we don't want to be around him, he's just. And I was like, dang, what did I miss? And I didn't really know what the canceling was, but all the people on the left, I can't follow y'all off a cliff, but they did cancel Tom. He was on there for 5 minutes, and he was like, hey, I see everybody's following me on here, introducing himself. And from that one post, they were like, SpaceX? Like, hell no, we don't want to follow you anymore. Like, get out of here. And so he was canceled.
You should have known.
Just today.
Okay, I didn't. It's nice to know that he's at least still alive. He was
So what does
our
he
friend
do?
after all.
Wait, is he hot?
Tom
Is
from
that why?
MySpace.
Right, but
No.
he wasn't hot. So then, what's
No.
the appeal of Tom from MySpace?
He was the guy who founded MySpace. So
He was just a
made it so
novelty.
that-
And
so he made it
MySpace
so that
is-
he wasn't a novelty. He was the guy who founded.
No, it's just
the
like,
friggin'
oh,
site.
Tom's my friend, LOL. Like, it kind of became
So,
like a bigger
like,
thing. But yeah, he was
when
the founder.
MySpace launched, in order to make sure that people weren't setting up an account where they knew nobody, he made it so that he was the default profile that every new account would automatically follow.
Yeah.
So everyone on MySpace had Tom as a friend, and because social media was so new, that was like a big deal that Tom was everybody's friend. It was sort of funny, but that's why that's what everyone's talking about.
We used to create. So Ariana, when we were young things, we used to create like HTML codes, right? Before you had to go to school and learn them, we would learn them on our own and create like the whole page setup, right? You would have rain falling down, you would have your music on this side, you would have your top 5, and then they grew to top 10, you would have those things, and you would drop a heart or be like, go on somebody's page and be like, just dropping some love, on your friend's page. You would leave comments that were, because we didn't have DMs at the time, so you were leaving your DM on the person's page for everyone to see. When you were going off to college, you would go and find people who were living in the same areas on the internet. Y'all would become friends. You were really friends with strangers, like best friends, with people on there. And that's how we cruised through life. It was beautiful. You had to really get on the internet and be like, oh, I want that pink background with the hearts, but you had to manually put it in and learn the HTML codes and put them in. So it was a good time. It was such a good time, right?
I remember going to people's page and listening, because you would be able to set songs that your visitors could listen to, and I would listen to their songs and see what kind of music my friends listened to. And it was just, it was a totally different era.
Yeah.
On the internet, there was not really any fighting on MySpace. It was genuinely like based around friendship. There was no algorithm. So it's a relic of the past. And I think that's why, at least I feel nostalgia for those days. I was also very young.
Yes, but it was a good time. Like, you really you had it wasn't no filters.
Right.
The only filters were sepia, black and white. That was pretty much it. And you would really just move. We sound real vintage, but that wasn't like that long ago.
We sound like complete boomers right now.
Yeah, it really does. But when I think about this is true story. Justin Timberlake had bought it out and partnered with, I want to say, iMeme to make it a music space. And it didn't go anywhere. So I remember trying to log in, and when you would Google yourself, your MySpace pictures would come up. And I'm like, I'm never going to touch that. And then one day I tried to log into my MySpace, and it said, you know, do you want to change over? And I was like, oh, let me change over. It's going to keep my stuff. And it deleted everything. All my little high school pictures that were on there before I went over to Facebook. Yeah, it was what a time. It was. And now you can't even, if you Google, none of the pictures come up anymore. Nothing comes up. But I used to do that to go just be like, look how cute I was.
It was like it'd be a time capsule if I could go back, like when I was 16, 17, 18, all the pictures on MySpace.
Yes.
I was still LARPing as a heterosexual person there. So I'd be curious to see my posts and what I would write in my bio and stuff. Probably Christian bio.
Yes. Listen, probably had like a believer in there, but I think my last song on there was Chris Brown, Yo.
I had that, and I had Ray J's One Wish.
Ooh, that's.
I also had David Banner play, of course.
Okay.
The Yin Yang Twins Whisper song.
Okay.
I had, what else did I have? It was basically all of the big hits back then.
T-Pain.
Of course, tons of T-Pain. Dem Franchise Boys.
Yeah.
Lean With It, Rock With It, of course. I had some Mary J. Blige. It was a whole fucking playlist. Like I was down.
Matt, did you have music on yours?
No, I didn't put. Oh wait, I at the time I had a band, so we had our own.
Did you
band
really?
profile.
Oh, you could see that if it was still around.
Yeah, I know. I've played. I don't know where this. I mean, the songs are somewhere, but they're not on this current computer. I really should upload them to Spotify. They're good.
You should. You
should.
Know, you know them people love you. All your supporters would definitely go and listen to it. So.
Oh, by the way,
yeah, I had
songs.
I would get so many. MySpace was amazing back in the day if you were playing music, because I can't even tell you how many shows that we booked through MySpace, through people finding us through there. It was amazing. Yeah.
What a time, man. That's how I literally got into a lot of organizations before I even got to college. I was just joining things, and then by the time I got to college, I knew everybody. It was such a time. Such a time. Nothing like that. But they said Tom was canceled. Anyways, I don't know why he's canceled, but for me in my house, Tom is a legend. Okay. Now, unless I see anything more, then I will have to move accordingly. That's facts.
Yeah, we'll stick a pin in that conversation, because I don't know what he's been up to. He's a white dude in America in 2026. I'm just going to be automatically skeptical. And he's rich, so there's that. But yeah, one thing I will say, I know that Ariana's probably like dying right now because this is such a boomer millennial conversation.
I fear I have no clue what's going on. 2008 was when MySpace blew up. I fear I was in elementary school, so I was not about to be coding on a computer.
It actually was before 2008.
During the recession.
It was probably peak in 2008. I
thought it like really blew up in 2008 though. Like that was when.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah, like 2008, 2009.
At that time, I transitioned over to Facebook, where you had to, because I had just gotten to college. So
Yeah.
Oh, so somebody in the chat, Onyx Squared, says that Tom is in a venture within Elon Musk's SpaceX thing.
Okay.
So, and he's promoting AI. Oh, okay, yeah. So fuck Tom.
See,
one thing that I will say is that now that I'm remembering it, I said it wasn't divisive. I actually take that back, because the top 8, I remember that was a little bit divisive, because you would basically have your top 8 people, right? And the way that everybody would perceive it is that like that was the ranking of your friends.
But it was.
It was. And so like that's how people did it. So, you would look and see that you weren't your friend's number 1 or you're number 4, and you had them at number 2.
Some people had to understand, though. I don't feel like it caused any fights, right? You just knew sometimes you would move it, right? If one day it was here, and then this day I'm like, you know what? Let me move this person so we can balance it out. It was like we didn't fight over those things. Like, oh my God, you're not in my top 8. It was just like, here go my top 8, here go my top 10.
We just quietly mope about it. If I was like, oh, I had you at.
Yeah,
we wasn't 2, but I guess I'm 7.
Sensitive. We weren't that sensitive at the time. I literally was putting a stranger that could have been some guy who would comment on my stuff, and we became friends. He was cute. I thought he was cute. He was flirting with me, and I was like, "Yeah, you going in my top 8, buddy? Like, I don't even know you. Like, that was crazy. I don't even know that's the times. That's how it was, literally."
I remember there was one time I put all like hot girls in my top 8. so that way I would make it seem like I was more straight.
Not you over
I
there
did.
lying
I
to the
did. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Wait,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
just
Wait, we
friends.
need to. We need
Yeah.
to pause. We need to. I need 5 minutes just to unpack that. Hold on. So, like, did you talk to these women, or were you like really trying to show that you were straight? I need the whole brief on this.
It was more
run
like
it down.
so so there's I think there was a little bit of a battle going on. Like internally, like just naturally it was like, oh, they look cute, I want to be their friends. But what I was trying to project was,
you were straight.
look at all these women I'm around, huh, fellas? Huh?
Somebody
You
Like,
jealous?
MySpace Dan Bilzerian for like 2 days. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, yeah, I didn't do this all the time. I remember when I did do it, and I'm trying to remember because this is a while ago. I remember I had it temporarily because I felt really self-conscious because I'm like, this looks like such a like poser shit, and it was. But I remember doing that, and I remember like thinking this actually doesn't seem cool because the people who know me in real life know that I don't know these people, and it just seems kind of weird.
But you were doing what we were doing all over the internet. We were just talking to strangers. We were just or like associating with strangers. They do that now, but now they're a pair of social relationships. Ain't nobody talking back to them. They just really obsessing over people, cussing them out. And you didn't really have that too much on MySpace. It literally was just we on here, whoever is whoever, you talk to whoever, like whoever's on your top 8. Now, of course, you're trying to make yourself look cool on your page.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna do all the things to make yourself look cool. But it wasn't what it is now. It wasn't what it is now. Now today it's like people can see who you following, get mad, DM you about it, go under your pictures, cuss you out. You don't even talk to these people, don't know them. You know, that's today's day and age. It wasn't too much in that era back then. Just so free.
Matt,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rebecca. I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you have a picture of this era? I just
Let me
wanna
try
see
to
what
find
you-
one for you because I want to put it into perspective for you. It looks like Web 1.0 for sure.
I just there's so many layers to this. I just want to see how you were portraying yourself during.
Oh,
the
you never
Dan
seen him put
Bilzerian.
his back in the day pictures up? He was giving Justin Timberlake. He was giving like,
Oh, me? Oh, I was Justin Timberlake.
No,
No
not
way.
you, Matt. You were giving. Remember, you were giving rocker. Like you were giving. You know, I seen you. You know.
So this is
our
what
page is. Wow.
you know, top 6.
Now that's a little. It was looking better than that. That's giving.
That one looks ugly. Some profiles just were not.
Show like the basic one though before you added anything.
So
Is that
this
Facebook?
You never saw this?
Is that what it looked like
Ariana?
when you joined with nothing
Yes.
on it?
So when you guys showed Tom from MySpace, I immediately
him.
recognized that face and that picture.
That's
So
him.
it's
Okay.
obviously been in the ether, and I've seen it multiple times. I just hadn't put 2 and 2 together that was a.
Oh,
That's Tom
okay.
from MySpace, baby.
That's crazy though that you were a child when this was out and you still recognize his face.
Yeah, his face. Yeah, I definitely, right when you guys showed it, I was like, okay, I remember this guy. Like, definitely remember this guy.
Oh my God! Remember this CeeLo Green?
Oh my
This was his
gosh, that was a
MySpace.
music page.
Damn, that's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's
I'm a
what
little
we used to
nervous
do,
just
girl.
going into
You used to
Google
take
Raw
your
like
HTML
this.
codes and make your pages look like that. Now these are a little people. These are a little bootleg.
These
but
are
this is
too
what it used to
busy.
look like. Yes.
So you can see like you'd have your picture, of course, male, 30 years old, Los Angeles, yada yada yada. You'd have blog. Oh yeah, I forgot about the blogs. I had some blogs. Your about me, and then down here there was more general interests, and then this right here, your friends. Okay, I forgot they changed it so you could do more than top 8. So this person had top 28. That's when I think it eased a little bit of tensions.
Yeah, I stopped doing it at that time. I was like, yeah, none of y'all gonna be in my top. It's just gonna be friends.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I don't know 28 people in real
Yeah.
life, let alone on Facebook.
Yeah.
Wow, look at, oh my God, this whole, like, this woman is just 2008. This is crazy.
Right. We really was just taking whatever pictures, and that was it. We weren't trying to be perfect. It was just whatever. What a time.
Wow. Oh, this is a raw page, no HTML.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Barack Obama was a friend. Wow, this is crazy.
Barack Obama as a friend is so funny. That's fried me. That's so
mood,
2008
relax.
coded. That's crazy. That's like this is recession coded. I'm sorry. This is a recession indicator.
1,000%.
Having Obama as your friend is a recession indicator.
I was off of it by this time. That's why I was like, I didn't even know Barack was on MySpace. Again, that's when I thought I was grown. I was like, excuse me, I have a email from college, so now I'm gonna get on Facebook. I'm not gonna be on MySpace anymore. And then my first picture on Facebook was my MySpace picture, and that's how I just went to Facebook and never looked back. Mm-hmm.
I was a Tumblr girl, though. I will say, yes, I went through a very rebellious stage in high school. Many people don't know this, but
I could not see that.
I basically made it a point to make my father's life a living hell. Like, I was like, you know what? I had a very traumatic childhood, and I basically, once I reached high school, I was like, oh, you guys are both gonna get, both my mom and dad, they were separated by the point that I was in high school. I had a 1.9 GPA on purpose because I was like, oh, you want to, I was a rebellion, you know, I was in my rebellious state. I got my I had my friend pierce my septum in the football field during lunch break with a sewing needle. But then the craziest thing that I did, these were the last two things that really set my father off. So I went into the bathroom, walked out with pink hair, just completely pink hair. And then that same day I joined the wrestling team, which was co-ed, which meant I had to physically wrestle men. And as much as my father tried to pull me out, I was like, no, this is in my ancestral genes. Iranians are known for wrestling. So like, you want to take away my ancestral, calling. And so he tried to pull me out multiple times, was unsuccessful. And so I did wrestling in high school for 2 years just to piss my dad off. Rest in peace. But yeah.
I get it. I definitely get it. But I could see you doing all of those things.
Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
You gotta. Sometimes it is like that. When you grow up in a household like that, you
get it. You get it.
I absolutely get it.
It was a lot of pent up like immigrant. Child of immigrant.
They want you to be like what? The doctor, the engineer, the such and such, and you're just like all this, and then you're a girl in the household of immigrants. You can't really do nothing. It's lockdown city, so you have to rebel. I wasn't too much of the rebellious one because my sister did it, so they put me on lockdown. So my rebellion would happen right when I get to school. I'm like, you know what? It's just a whole different person. So when I get closer to the house, I'm like, I am waiting for
the makeup in the bag and all that. The clothes change and everything. You go, I went through all of that, dude.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna be just perfect until the day comes and I'm out of here. So the day I go to college, I am there. Sayonara. I'm never coming back here. That's how it was for me. So
me too. Me too. Heavy on the me too. So
I didn't have a rebellious phase. Like maybe if I did, it was like middle school when I got like suspended and almost expelled. But then it was.
What'd you do?
I was basically, me and my friends were like brats. We would always just like talk shit. Like about everybody, the janitor, like I would dare my friend, go ask the janitor if he's Santa Claus because he had a big white beard. Just like things like that. And we would do the same thing to other kids as well. And not all the kids thought that humor was like intriguing. And it was like borderline bullying. And so...
He was bullying people. He was picking on people.
And part of it was I had a little bit of a Napoleon complex because I was very short compared to the other kids, so I had to project bravado. So I was
kind of syndrome. I fear that's so funny.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of really mean, and I feel so. If I could go back and like find them as adults and apologize for what I did in sixth grade, I would, because I feel really bad. But I was really mean. Like I would call kids the F slur. I would like pick on them for just being stupid if I hated them for no reason. And me and some of my friends did that. And so like they kind of like, I don't like, in retrospect, from what I can remember, the teachers the counselors didn't handle it right because they talked to me and my friend and they were like, we played like with Beyblades and stuff. And we're like, hey, they were very indirect in that, like, just stop bullying this fucking kid or like stop talking shit. Like I didn't perceive it as bullying. And so I just kept doing what I did, and then I got suspended, and then my parents pulled me out of school because they were talking about expelling me. And so when they pulled me out of school to homeschool me, I refused to do that. But it wasn't like I was like rebelling in the sense that I would like go out and do drugs. It was just like I was kind of a brat.
You were
Like
projecting, calling them
Yeah.
the F word and stuff. You was just like, it was something you were battling with yourself, so you put that on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel very bad because I know that probably hurt that kid's feelings. And as an adult, I would know that now, but as a kid, you don't like think about these things. So even though you can't really you're a kid, right? But still, it makes me feel
it's not
bad.
who you are today. So it's good that you recognize that. Free yourself.
Yeah.
Don't hold that up against your head. Free yourself.
Yeah.
You're not that person. That's not your heart today. So,
Yeah.
we forgive you. All right. You're released.
Yeah, you're forgiven.
Well, I was baptized after that. So
Okay. So look,
All right,
you're
no,
free.
I was homeschooled, so they weren't wasting that opportunity to
A little
indoctrinate
sprinkle,
me.
sprinkle of Jesus water. You are free, baby. You are free.
Oh, they
Matt-
did the whole dunk, Rebecca.
Oh, see.
Oh, yeah, you could go on Epstein's Island.
You
and
are
then
cleansed.
you're
beloved.
good.
You are
Yeah.
You're solid.
Apparently.
No, but Matt, tell us about your rebellious stage. I know you had it.
I don't know. I really wasn't. I mean,
Hmm.
rebellious in terms of like.
Stereotyping you? I'm just thinking because you just look like a rocker, like you just was out in the streets.
I
like,
mean,
you were just-
I went to protests and stuff, and all my, but like not to like rebel against my but not like rebel against my.
Well, I
parents.
went to a protest. That's not what we're talking about.
She was just talking about that. But I honestly, I probably got into some fights with them every now and then, but they gave me pretty they trusted me and I appreciated that, so I respected that. And I didn't have like a bedtime or a get home time, and I would be able to go to whatever I wanted to go to. And in return, I respected them and didn't come home drunk because I didn't drink.
Oh, that's good. Look, you
love
were a
that.
good kid. I was a pretty good kid too, but rebellion had to come somewhere, especially like I said, growing up in an immigrant household. And I know you, Mike, had the Christian or the religious household. And I had both, I kind of think mixed. My dad wasn't saved, but my mama was, so it got crazy. But so Matt, you just were like,
I was actually the responsible friend. I was the designated driver. I was the one keeping everybody alive. I was the one
actually
driving
awesome,
everybody
though.
around.
man,
I
you
was,
just
Being a DJ is
that's so
actually
great.
good.
Like, I love that for
Parenting
you.
does. Healthy parenting just raises your child normal.
Right.
Many people should learn.
Alan
I mean,
Winger
yeah,
did good if he's watching this.
I'm trying to do that with my own kids, not be too
Aw.
strict. I mean, they do have a bedtime, but so there was a situation the other day where my son, he's in 5th grade, and they have a group like messenger chat like on their iPads and stuff with all their his classmates, and someone in the class changed the group chat name to something very inappropriate, and a bunch of parents saw it. And some parents were like punishing their kid, even though their kid didn't change the name of the group chat. And I was just like, well, when my wife showed me the name of the group chat, that when it was changed to something inappropriate, I laughed. That's pretty funny.
What was it?
What was it?
It was
I'm curious.
So the group chat was changed to how to suck someone's balls.
You're such a kid. That's why people can't. Millennial parents.
I mean, it's a bunch of 5th graders. I thought it was funny.
That's very much 5th grade humor, yeah.
But I thought it was funny because I said to my wife, was like, "Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "Listen, the kid could have went with just a basic suck my balls, but instead they were getting a little bit creative with it. I'm like, oh, but I changed this to how it died."
That's actually such a good point.
So I thought that was funny. I thought that was very funny. I was like, it wouldn't have been funny if it was just suck my balls, but it was funny because it was how to suck someone's balls.
Oh my god! I fear if I was a parent, I would not take anything seriously.
Millennials don't take anything seriously, so I'm pretty sure Gen Z people are not taking anything serious at all.
Right,
They
but I
got
mean,
all
some parents in the class took it very seriously, and I was just like, my wife was like, should we ban him from the chat? Should we block the chat? I'm like, no, just leave him in there. Let them. They're gonna be. This is what 5th graders do. If you do anything to make him be an outcast in any way, then it's gonna only affect him. He didn't change it. He knows that was inappropriate and wrong. He's not gonna do that. So why you punish him for it? Yeah.
Wow. You know what, chat? Y'all need to learn. Y'all need to learn because my parents were not like this.
No.
And it did not work out well for them when I became a teenager. So no, I agree. Like I feel like a lot of parents end up othering their child as a form of like punishment, but that like you're literally torturing your child because once your child is othered, they're pretty much fucked. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we get back to
parents-
news, or I kind of like the brain rot conversation? I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I have
no,
some
last
funny
thing, you're at
news
the end of the
stuff,
show.
but
But
yeah,
no,
this is the end.
No, we
Matt,
might as well
somebody's
have-
asking how your father is in the chat.
Oh,
I would like to know
he's-
too.
So he's he's in a rehab facility now. So I mean I think he posted about it on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's out there. So my dad was not feeling good for a month or two, and we noticed that he was very uncharacteristically he was acting very uncharacteristically on Thanksgiving. And we told him go to the doctor, and he went, and they did tests, and they found out that he has cancer, and
oh God.
it spread, and he had it in a number of places, and he started taking treatment and getting both chemo and radiation towards the end of December, right around Christmas. And he started acting a lot better and feeling a lot better. But he was in a hospital bed for like a month and a half. So he had lost a lot of weight. He was very weak. He couldn't really walk very well. So he is in a rehab facility, and he was doing pretty good walking around. And then the past couple of days, he's been regressing a little bit. We don't know why. I think I think and hope it's because they've been tapering him off the steroids that he was taking. And I know there's a lot of side effects like disorientation and weakness, and it looks like that hopefully is the case. And once they figure out the best way to taper, wean him off of that, he'll be back on track. But for the past couple of weeks, he was on the way up. So hopefully this is just a small side effect of what they want to do. And he's back on track in a couple of days. So that's the update on my dad.
No, thank you. For
I
that.
appreciate everyone.
Definitely gets better. Well, I'm praying for him, and I pray for his health and his strength. And I can't imagine what you're feeling too. So definitely.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Do you mind me asking what kind of cancer it is, if you feel comfortable saying?
Yeah, sure. Melanoma.
Okay.
So it's skin cancer, and it spread to different parts of his body, which that's not ideal, obviously. But it seemed like the radiation and chemo was really working. They haven't tested him yet to check. That's coming up, like to check the progress of the growths. The reverse, we want them to get smaller or disappear completely, obviously. But he was acting and feeling a lot better. He got his, he wasn't eating for a little while because of it, and we found out it was because of where it metastasized. And but he was, all of a sudden, the past couple of weeks, he was eating everything, and he was doing good. So hopefully this is just a temporary thing that's a side effect of the withdrawal. Yeah.
Well, I'm literally in New York City. So if you and your wife ever are like bombarded and you're like, yo, Ari, I just need you to bring over food or whatever, like just let me know. Like I'm always here.
I appreciate that. That's very nice.
No, of course. I've gone through this with both of my parents. So if whatever you need, just let me know. But I will say more than 70% of people who are diagnosed with cancer as of this month live longer than 5 years. So I have good feelings if the cancer, like if the chemo was really, making him come back to life and stuff like that. I'm sure it's just like, a phase, but let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it really looked like it was doing its job. Like it was a complete change. Like it went from like, I did not know how long I was thinking in that, vein of things, how long we had. And then I went from like, oh, we're recovering here. We just got to get him exercising, like doing the physical therapy. This is good. This is amazing. And I was looking up and reading a lot of like the treatment for this stuff. Really, it's been like over the past like 10, 15, 20 years that these like advances been made. It's crazy. Yeah, like if this was like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's actually why I asked you what kind of cancer. Like when my dad got pancreatic cancer, we thought it was going to be like a 3-month death sentence, but then cancer research had extended so far that immunotherapy gave him 3 extra years that he would have never had it been 10 years ago. So I think a lot of people just get super scared when they hear the word like cancer, but it's actually, which was why, going back to today's time, which is why it's so sad that Trump cut so much cancer funding, because it's actually elongated so many people's lives and has given them time to have years after their diagnosis and be able to, straighten things out, get their, last couple of years with their families and stuff like that, which is why cancer research is so pertinent and important that we continue having.
Right. I mean,
but yeah, like I said, my article doesn't really admit it, so just let me know.
Appreciate that. I mean, when I first found out, I was looking up stuff, and like the first story I found where there was literally Jimmy Carter had the same type of cancer as my dad. It spread to the same places, and he was diagnosed like, what was it, like 10 or 15 years ago?
And he
lived 10, 15 years, and when he did pass away, it wasn't because of the cancer. It was because he was like 96, 7 years old or something.
He lived long.
So like when I saw that, and apparently like the therapy they use for melanoma, it was very early days when they gave it to him, and he was like the case that made them like, get it out more. Like, this works. We're gonna use. This is gonna be the stuff we used. Like, this is gonna be the treatment. Hopefully, I'm hoping for the best, and I really appreciate everyone's kind words. If this was just a few days ago, I would have been completely 100% smiles and positivity about it all. But this setback, I'm not ready to see the setback. Too many weeks of good good progress that I wasn't ready for these past few days. But I'm hoping it's just the steroid related stuff.
Like I said,
he'll get back. He'll get back.
Yes, he will. I have good feelings too. I you even sharing that with us, like I said, I'm definitely praying. And again, I can't imagine what you're feeling. So I definitely am praying for you too, for your peace of mind. I'm pretty sure it's a hard time for you. So thinking of you, praying for you and your dad. So
thank you.
Someone
reminded me, Jimmy Carter lived to 100. My bad.
He did. Yes, it was 100.
My bad. Yeah.
He was
vintage.
Yeah. He was vintage. Yeah,
I just want to say, like, I have full confidence that your father's going to be okay, and it's just the weaning off of steroids, because my mom has had cancer for over 5 years now, and it's been managed with medication and stuff like that. And there were times where it was very much touch and go, and I was like, this might be it, but it wasn't. It was just like, it ebbs and flows, right? Like, they get weak and then they go to rehabilitation and they come back, and then there will be phases where he'll get weak again. Like, I'm going to be transparent with you, but it ebbs and flows, and it's going to continue to ebb and flow, especially with the type of cancer that he has. But I will say, just please make sure that you also take care of yourself, because I feel like caregivers really tend to forget themselves. And I think a lot of healthcare providers don't talk to caregivers about the extent of hurt that your mental and your physical goes through, whether you binge eat, or you don't eat, or you don't sleep, or you sleep too much. Like, every person's different, but I just want you to make sure, like, you don't abandon yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you have community, make sure you tap into them. That's what community is for. You know what I mean? Like you're there through the good and bad times. So definitely just make sure you don't take it out on yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself too.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Luckily, I'm one of 4 siblings, so it's been easier to share the responsibilities. I will say though that insurance in this country does not make any of this any easier.
It's
In
so
fact,
bad.
it's
so bad.
especially when it comes to Medicare doesn't pay for
They don't.
for a lot of stuff involving post hospital care. Because you're only supposed to be in the hospital if there was a need, and that need doesn't count someone too weak to get out of bed. That's your problem. If you're too weak to get out of bed, you got to be dying, like literally, like they need to be doing something to administer you support to enable you to live for you to be in a hospital. Otherwise, if it's just that you can't get up and get to the bathroom or get food, tough shit. You're on your own.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. My dad was driving Uber until his liver gave out. Like the doctor was literally like, "You're about to die," and that's when he stopped driving Uber because it was thousands. One bag of immunotherapy was $20,000, and he had to get two bags every month. So, I will say though, look into AARP because AARP does cover a lot of the stuff once you get a membership. So, definitely look into that. Because AARP covered a lot of my dad's costs too.
I'm giving you a big hug, Matt. Huge. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Virtual hug.
Yeah, virtual hug.
You can't feel it, but it's there.
And thanks for coming on. Send us some money. Like this guy's going through it.
And you know he.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I laughed.
Love bomb Matt, but also money bomb him.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go ahead and pull up some super chats.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let me find.
First one is from Prairie.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Prairie, for the super chat. I see the weather forecast for your neck of the woods. Get a rotisserie chicken and stay warm. Snow melts away into spring, and tyrants fall to the will of the people. We win in the end. Thank you so much.
Love the optimism.
Yes, I'm gonna use that to give me a piece of chicken. Thank you, High as Heck Priestess. Thank you so much for your super chat. Not Los says Rebecca is super dope. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then I think I sent a yellow heart over, and then he says the yellow heart deserves another 10. Thank you again. 20th Century E. Becca is awesome. What? Thank you. You think I'm awesome? Thank you so much. Old man in Philly with the cute gear. Thank you so much for your super chat. Love seeing you in your element interviewing guests. You all need to do this more often. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you so much. Tigwick plays games. Oh, pause. I had Georgia Fort on my show earlier this week. She couldn't come on tonight, but I'm definitely gonna get her on to the show so she can definitely give us some more information out of Minneapolis.
I'll
So
check
she
out your
lives
show
there.
with her. I missed that.
Yes, thank you. It was with Ben. It was Like It or Not. It was earlier.
Oh,
this
okay,
week.
nice,
Mhm.
nice.
Tigwick plays games. Thank you so much for your super chat. Here's a few extra bucks. I appreciate it. Lizzie Bennett, 5726. Completely agree with what you said, Becca. Being able to partake in tomorrow's strike, given today's job market, might be a luxury. It might be for some, for sure. Again, Lizzie, as it is, I intend to have my work status as busy. Come on, girl, throughout the day as I work from home and do nothing. Congrats on the new job. Thank you so much, and hopefully I keep it in Jesus' name. But yes, I love how she's trying to work the system. Listen, can't get off of work, but I'm gonna keep it on busy and so they don't bother me. So be in solidarity. I appreciate that, Lizzie. Thank you so much. High as Heck Priestess once again. If you want old MySpace, try Space Hey. Same thing. I can't be the last thing I downloaded. I want to say, was it Threads? No, it was the Blue Sky. And I have every time I get on there, I never come back. I try. I don't think I have any space to add another app, social media, something. I'm just social media out. If I can delete everything right now, I would. I think the only thing I go on right now is Threads mostly. I'm on YouTube, you know, because I'm watching videos and things of that sort. Instagram, I even cleared my Instagram. I think I got 2 pictures up now on Instagram. So yeah, because I just put things in my stories, and a lot of the old stuff I archived them because I knew better, because you saw what happened with MySpace. We ain't got it no more. But I archived them. I downloaded most of them, and so I just kind of, the person that was in the old things, I'm not that person anymore. It was just giving old energy, and I was just like, yeah. So yeah, I think I'll be on Instagram only in just posting my stories, my workouts, or positive things, or things I'm reposting about what's happening in Minneapolis. And that's pretty much it. I stay on Threads, and even Threads, I'm limiting what I write, but I'm consuming a lot of news from out of Minneapolis there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's
Rebecca, what's your Instagram?
my Instagram. What is it? In Becca's Voice. So INBECCAS. Yeah.
Am I feel like I'm following you.
Yes, actually, yeah, I'm on there. But yeah, that's my day. So y'all pray for me. My first day at these people job is on Monday, and I don't really know how that's
gonna
go.
kill it.
Yeah,
but I
hopefully.
also just want to give a shout out to the bob, because the bob just looks so good on you. Like, I'm in love. You have to keep it, please.
Thank
I'm
you. Look,
begging.
I
It looks so good
might
on
do it
you.
for it's probably gonna be my month's hairstyle. I was thinking that I did it myself. So
You
yeah,
did that yourself?
Oh my
yes.
god, that is
What?
what tools did you use?
Thank you. No, well, so I sewed down. So this is my hair on the top, and I sewed down the rest.
Right. So
Yeah. So
okay.
flat iron, washed, all the things. I used my
braided.
Yes. Yeah. So I
Damn.
yeah. Oh yeah, girl.
You braided and sewed in your own hair?
Yeah, I did it myself.
Oh
It takes
my
a long time,
god.
especially because my nails are long. But yeah, I did it on my own. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
period.
Yes. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get myself together for the week. So, but yes, I will see y'all next Thursday. I did miss you guys a little bit this week, so I will see you guys next Thursday. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend wherever you are. I know it's a lot of snow in New York. Is it snowing where you at, Mike?
No, it's really cold, but it's not snowing. There's a little bit of snowflakes on the forecast, but I don't know if that's they might have changed it. So we're not there yet. We usually get snow in February, so.
Okay. All right. Well, I know that you guys it's a lot of snow in New York, I want to say. So you guys try to stay warm and enjoy yourselves. And again, I'm sending all the love to you. Look, all the love is going, sorry, y'all. All the love is going to Matt. All right. Love you guys. Mean it. I'll see you guys.
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
All right.
All right,
I
I'm
think
gonna go
the first
fast.
one.
I swear.
Oh no, you're good.
Promise.
You take as much time as you need. I believe this is your first one, right?
Yes. Who is the most cruel orange man? Madding Targaryen. Nintendo Gaming Channel. I have no clue who Matt King Targaryen is.
Mad King. It's from Game of Thrones.
It's a nerd reference.
I fear this is the second version of Johnny Single. Nintendo Gaming Channel. Like, I'm gonna actually lose my mind if you keep doing that. Like, you keep sending me these chats that literally only Mike understands. And it's like, I appreciate the 279, but I'm begging, like, make a Bradstall reference or something. I can't keep. I'm just a girl. Like, I don't.
Well,
know
I have
what
to
you're
explain
saying.
the lore to you now, right? So, Mad King Targaryen, I believe he was slayed by Jaime Lannister.
Who is Jaime Lannister?
He was
Wait, is
the
this a real
brother of
story or like a gaming
Cersei.
story?
It's in Game of Thrones. It's in Game of Thrones. It's actually, I should have tried to explain the lore. I don't remember enough, but
No, please explain the lore. All right, so he's a slave in a make-believe land. What happened?
no. So he was just the Mad King. He went crazy and he got clapped basically. And or a Nintendo Gaming Channel saying that Orange Man is basically Mad King Targaryen. I would say that he's a lot more like Joffrey, just because Trump is a child. Joffrey was like a child Mad King, not really a Mad King, but just like evil and tyrannical and sadistic. And I think that is probably more Trumpian to me.
Okay.
If I had to guess, or if I had to like say, I don't know, because like we don't really know much about the Mad King. I didn't read the books, and based on the show, we just heard of him. But we know Joffrey, and that's Trumpy.
All right, cool. I hope you got what you were looking for out of that Nintendo gaming channel. Always something with you, man, but thank you for the money. I appreciate it. I'm not complaining. MQR subs 465. Thank you so much for the $10. I've been following more creators on LM audience, and one the Tungsten Wire just posted a YouTube short about Iran. I know you're Iranian and would love to know your thoughts on his views. Don't know who Tungsten Wire is.
He wasn't he one of? Did he come on our calls?
I don't know.
Maybe it was Tungsten, or maybe it was. Oh God!
Not me saying Tungsten. Well, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. I don't know what the views are. Chad, do you guys know what the views are so I can give my commentary? Because I don't know what his views are.
That's cool that we have a bunch of audience members who are getting involved in the creator space. I'll love to see that. I'll have to check out that video.
I know, me too. I love that too.
So cool.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the $10. Chat, if you guys know, please let me know. But next time, if you tell me what his views are, I would be able to tell you very easily. Looney Tunes 9000, thank you so much for the $2. Qasim was right on. F ICE, defund ICE now. I totally agree with you. Usually I've been of the belief that saying defund the police is not going to be like, it's not inherently palatable to all people, and it's like confusing and you kind of have to, explain it. But I feel like with defund ICE or abolish ICE, it's like the writing is literally on the wall. Like it's so easy to explain and just, I mean, it literally got established right after 9/11 with the purpose to hyper police Muslim and Middle Eastern people. And then it morphed into what the fuck it is now. So I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, okay, that I can say and everyone can get behind easily, as opposed to defund the police where you kind of have to explain this whole philosophy and ideology behind it. Anyway, sorry.
I kind of feel like abolish DHS entirely is better, because like we don't need border patrol. Like all that shit is redundant. I wish people would get on board with that, but I'm with the popular slogan, abolish ICE for sure.
Yeah, I feel like we need to start small, man.
That's fair.
Let's first get one slogan backed by some people, and then we can like make it bigger.
Yeah, that's fair.
Amira Jessa, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate you. And Nintendo Gaming Channel, MAGA screwed MAGA, like quote Brett screwed Brett. Don't know the
wrestling reference.
I've got nothing.
Huh?
That's a wrestling reference.
Oh, okay.
Nintendo Gaming Channel.
You're doing it on purpose so that way you.
No, I fear at this point it's just like trolling. He's like, you know what? If I can't talk about Johnny Sumali, bitch, I'm just gonna confuse the fuck out of you, like every week. Thank you so much for the 279, though. I appreciate it. Unknown OV2KZ. Thank you so much for being the second person in my chat with the king crown. I appreciate you. Love your contribution. Some small constructive criticism. When you hit your mic, I get a bit of sensory overload. It would be nice to be able to hear your voice clearly. Do you mean when I hit my mic physically, or?
That's probably what they mean, yeah.
Oh, I don't ever notice you doing that.
Okay. I
Every
did
now
not
and
know
then.
I did it.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice until this person said something, and now I definitely notice.
Oh, I've never noticed that at all.
Okay, I'll stop hitting my mic. I apologize. I repent. I'm sorry, guys. Nintendo Gaming. Thank you so much for the €10. I appreciate it. Nintendo Gaming Channel 279. It's always 279 too. Why don't you upload normal videos on your YouTube? Okay, thank you. Wait, this is so refreshing. Like an actual question I can answer. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Transparently, I got super I can make all the excuses in the world, but I just feel like the start of this, just in general, everything has been a lot. But whenever something happens in Iran, everyone taps into me for advice, and I just end up working like 100-hour weeks. So I just feel like this month has been so chaotic on so many different levels. But tomorrow I will be drafting my next long form YouTube video. So we are starting back up again. Starting next week, we will be uploading long form videos regularly. I promise you. I know I keep saying that, but I promise we're getting it done. I really want to get to 100K subscribers by the end of this year, so we're gonna do it. We're locking in, chat. We're locking in.
What are you at right now?
19,000.
Okay, that's doable.
It's doable. Yeah. I already know what works and I know what people engage with. I basically talk about resistance in a funny way, like protesting and stuff like that. I already know exactly what I have to do because I figured out what works. It's just the editing and the filming and the research. I mean, I could hire a researcher, but like I'd rather travel. I'm sorry. I'm being a brat. I'm being a brat. Like I need to lock in.
But I mean, like when you hire your own researcher, it's like if they mess up, then that's on you, and you don't have the reassurance.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm always just like, I do everything except the editing because if I fuck up, it's on me.
I mean, I love how you were talking your shit in Farsi. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a month in general, but I agree with you, Mike. It's a lot to just let someone like just trust someone like that, especially when I'm talking about really important things. So I really need to lock in. Long story short, I'm the problem. It's me. But I also do a lot of work. Like I'm a creator, but I'm also an ambassador for multiple nonprofits. But then I also consult different nonprofits. And then I have my Substack, which is a newsletter. And then I also do short form videos. And then I also upload tweets. And then I also write for multiple Instagram pages. Like there's a lot going on in my life. So I just need to.
Well, short term is like your main bread and butter, right? Like on like Instagram and TikTok, but not. Yeah, that's time consuming because you are constantly pumping out stuff. So that's got to be a lot of work.
Constantly. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's okay though. We're locking in. Long story short, we're locking in. Hi, Kowalski. Thank you so much for the $10. Congratulations on surviving your first blizzard. Spring is only 7 short weeks away, so stay strong. Any lessons learned or memories made? Lessons learned that's such a good question. I have realized that I don't like living in snow. I will say, I when I was a kid, I used to beg my dad to let us move to a state that snowed because I really just wanted a real Christmas winter because it would be like sunny during my winters because of California. And my dad was like, "Trust me, you don't want that." And now that I finally have it, I'm like, "Oh, not a fan." I love it when it snows. I don't like the mud slush shit that it transforms into after a day. So yeah, I'd say that's my answer. Thank you so much for the $10. Unknown, thank you so much for the €2. We see you trying to keep a straight face. Bro, when Costum was talking about the most fucked up shit, my chat was just in 110% troll mode. I had one motherfucker saying, I'm a lawyer, get this guy to shut up and put me on, which was kind of making me laugh. And then everyone else in the chat was like, where's Kowalski? And then all of this was happening all at the same time. And they were all just going back and forth with each other. And I started like, I couldn't like hold it in. And then other people in the chat were like, is Ariana smirking? Which I was, but there was so much going on in my fucking chat. And then right when we started talking about Nicki Minaj, all the jokes dropped off. No one had any more jokes to say. I was like, wow, cool. So you guys do it right when the guest is talking about the most fucked up shit. That's when you guys have all your jokes. Okay, got it. Anyways,
that's funny.
Tigwig, thank you so much for the €2. Yeah, they were doing it on purpose. Thank you so much for the 50. Oh my God, 50 Canada. Thank you so much, Tigwig. I appreciate it. Tigwig. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for always funding us. I appreciate you. Saya Bellman, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you. Your voice is so important. Stay strong. I appreciate you. Thank you. Damn, I got way more than I usually get this week. This is crazy. I'm not used to this. I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining. I don't have extra bucks, but I do have extra quid. What does that mean? Is this a reference I don't understand again?
Oh, because in the UK they call the pound bucks or quid, like we call the dollar bucks. It's like a slang term for the pound.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the quid. I appreciate it. Thank you for the €20. Old Man in Philly, thank you so much for the $5. With the mass exodus from TikTok, what sites are you considering posting short form content? Did your stuff get the same deplatforming others saw? No, for some reason, my TikToks have been getting more views than they have been in the past 6 months. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but yeah, I have no clue. I wouldn't be able to explain it to you. My algorithm has been treating me well on TikTok, but also I stopped focusing on TikTok a long time ago. I don't make videos for TikTok. I just post it on there. I will say a lot of people are downloading an app called Upscroll. So it's one word, UP, and then SCROLLED. It's owned by a Palestinian man, and they claim there's no censorship on it. I downloaded it, and the algorithm is giving your 40-year-old auntie who just came like fresh off the boat. The algorithm is really weird, and just I feel like they're still trying to figure it out. But you guys should definitely download Upscrolled because it's like the newer version of TikTok that's owned by a Palestinian person.
I'm on Upscrolled, by the way.
Yeah, I am. Matt, are you?
What was that?
Are you on Upscrolled?
I did set up an account there, but I haven't posted or anything. I've barely been posting online the past month or so, for reasons. Yeah, I just haven't felt like it. Like I've been on the computer. Obviously, I've been working. I've been paying attention to the news, but I've not been paying attention to any sort of like social media related drama related to politics and stuff. Like I've barely paid attention to like what people are claiming about, online about like the protest in Minnesota and the 2 killings. Like I know what's been going on and what's happened, and people are defending the indefensible. But like in terms of specific stuff, I've been just like, I don't need to. I know the important stuff. Like back before, it wasn't important to know every minute detail, and you just needed to know like the actual news of what's going on.
That makes sense. I mean, do what you need to do, honestly. Do what you have to do for your mental health. But yeah, we're all on Upscrolled, so check us out there. Nintendo Gaming Channel, thank you so much for the 279. COD, Advanced Warfare predicted USA against war. Don't know what's going on here.
Video game Call of Duty.
Oh, okay, I know that.
Yeah, so the Advanced Warfare game, I guess I'm assuming the single player story was about the United States going to war with everybody else, because it's more like futuristic. The Advanced Warfare one. I haven't played that one.
Thank you so much again, Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo's low-key an op at this point, but it's okay.
I'm Nintendo Gaming Channel's translator, so I can translate from nerd speak to English most of the time.
Thank you. Unknown, thank you so much for the €5. RIP Kowalski, your relationship won't be forgotten. Bro, do you remember when Casa was like dashingly handsome man, and I was like, ha ha ha, now we're all laughing? Okay, well my chat was like, all right, you have competition, whatever. My chat has a lot of fun, so I'm just gonna keep moving on. I'm surprised this bit is still alive and very much well going on. Honestly, I'm not complaining though. I like it. Super platinum. I also love how my chat is completely playing into that bit too. Like it's been months. Honestly, I'm not complaining though. It's really funny. Super platinum. Why can I not say? I can't say that for shit. Super platinum man. Okay. That was so hard. Thank you so much for the $5. Why has no one talked about Kushner's plan for Gaza at Davos, and MAGA is now pro World Economic Forum, make globalist great again? I honestly, have we not talked about it?
I don't know if we talked about it. I know that the Majority Report with Matt just posted a video today that I was watching about it. It's really, really good. I'd highly encourage you to watch that. They basically echoed my thoughts on that. It's there's not really a particular reason why I haven't made a video about it. It's just that there's so much to talk about, and I don't know what to cover in any given day. Like today I put up a shitty, like stupid video about Melania's movie because I just needed like a break. But like in any given week, there's like 40 stories that are really good that we could talk about. So yeah, it is important, and it has been covered, but definitely watch the Majority Report's coverage of it because I really like the commentary there. I thought that they made some really good points.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, but I did see the new Gaza plan. Honestly, did not surprise me. We always knew that was their plan. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have a mental barrier between the news I read and my emotions, just simply because I will go clinically insane if I don't. So there are times where I read news and I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. But for the sake of my own mental, I have to create a mental barrier or else I will literally go insane. Like, I can't do it. So I saw that news and I was like, yep, knew that was going to happen. Not surprising at all, honestly, at this point. We always knew.
Yeah, it's like they're building basically a resort over a graveyard, and Jared Kushner talked about clearing out the rubble, and it's like, what are they doing with the body? Like they're finding bodies, so what are they doing with the? It's just it's a lot, and it's a very depressing story.
Yeah. It is. It's a depressing story, but it's not like it's very much on brand for Trump and his team. That's why I'm like,
right.
It's not
disaster capitalism. Exactly what you could expect.
It's disaster. It's like for them, it's beachfront property in the Middle East. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't. That's all they see it as. Thank you so much for the $5. Jacqueline Leach, 7050. Thank you so much for the $6.99. I had friends whose parents wouldn't tell them what European place they had come from, and were in lifelong PTSD, as we would call it now. Just saying.
Like, wouldn't tell them their heritage.
I'm a bit confused by this comment. I'm not gonna lie. Am I missing something?
I'm not really sure. It might just be late, but I'm not wrapping my head around it either.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
My brain could just be cooked, though, to be fair. I have no idea.
Did they get PTSD because they thought they might come from like Nazis or something? Wait, chat, am I...
It seems like the chat thinks that, too. Oh, PTSD from the news? I'm not sure. Possibly World War II
probably
related.
World War II related. Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that. God, I'm so sorry. That sucks.
Yeah.
I hope they found out where they come from. Don't trust genetic sites. Don't give your DNA to them.
I already did.
You're cooked. I'm just kidding.
Just to confirm that what I already knew. Yeah, I'm Portuguese.
I really want to do one because I'm Iranian, but my mom is like a sub-Iranian. Like, she's Lur. Her family is Lur. She speaks Farsi and Luri. And my father had blue eyes and brown hair. I'm very curious. Like, I feel like there's something that happened in my ancestry where some colonizer mixed in with my family. I don't know what happened, but I would have loved to, but I never trusted them. So thank you so much for the $6.99 though. I appreciate it. Zeetways, thank you so much for the 12 euros. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Fudgy sent me 300 Canadian dollars, which is crazy.
Whoa.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy.
Holy fuck. I didn't know you could send that much.
Crazy. Thank you first of all, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I so love the parasocial hangout I get to have with you folks every week. I love the empathy and listening you have, and in the combo right now you are exhibiting that. They sent this while we were talking about Matt's father. Ariana, you are a vital cog in TLM. Oh my God, thank you. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for the guests that you brought on. You truly are a star. Oh my God, wait, that's so sweet.
That's so nice. Oh,
I'm gonna treat myself with this money. So thank you so much. It means a lot. For the commenter that said that's 50 cents in American dollars, you are a hater. You are a hater.
That's
okay?
not 50
You are a hater. 300 Canadian dollars is a lot of money, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of money. Thank you so much.
That is a fuck ton of money by
it
super
means the
chat
world.
standards.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Come back again. Come back again next week. I'll be here. To Trumbo 99, thank you so much for the $2. Here's to the rebellious teen years. Ariana, thank you. Put in a lot of work just to piss my dad off. Super Platinum, $5. Thank you so much. You should get some Dominican food. Okay, hot take. Please don't hate me. I tried Dominican food multiple times. I've wanted to like it. It's not for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's maybe I'm wrong, but they have a lot of fried food, and I'm just not. I can't do a lot of fried food. Like, it doesn't do well for me personally. Like, I don't I don't know. Maybe I should try. Should I try it again? I don't know. Maybe it was.
Maybe you got to try a different place.
Yeah, maybe because I tried it once and I was like not a huge fan, but I did go to Panama and I did love Panamanian food, which I know is not remotely the same, but I don't know. I do love plantains though, so. But thank you so much. I will try it just for you, just because you told me to. Omega Shenron Dragon, thank you so much for the $5. Platano is plantain, a Dominican banana. You have to peel it with a knife to make. Yes, I do know what they are. Sweeter, riper. Yes, I love plantains. If you guys have never had plantains, you guys have to try it. It's so good. Nintendo Gaming Channel, thank you for the $2.79. Do you expect ICE at Super Bowl to commit crimes? I 100% believe ICE is going to be at the Super Bowl because if they're going to the winter games in fucking Spain or wherever that random it was, it Italy or Spain where they were like ICE is going to join us. I think it was Italy.
That's so wild to me.
Yeah, they basically they announced and they were like, we're going to have ICE patrol the Winter Olympics, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, what is the practical point of ICE? And what are they going to do? Kick out undocumented immigrants in the Winter Olympics in Italy?
Yeah, it makes no sense. They also, I know you all probably heard about this, they tried to enter the Ecuadorian embassy and caused an international incident because I don't think they realized that they can't do that. Like, they're stupid, so of course they probably didn't know that. They just saw brown people and wanted to break in. But we're beyond like parody. Like, I don't even know how to process the information about ICE anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, sorry, I got one last one. Fudgy, thank you so much for the $20. Again, thank you so much for the money. I really appreciate it. It's so true. I told both Mike and David one time on Twitter that I discovered both me and my sister are followers of both Mike and David online. We both found them independently. That's so cool.
No kidding. That's awesome.
I love that. That's the thing. Like, I feel like once you start watching leftist news, like, you just get interconnected with so many other people. Bay Photo, thank you so much for becoming a member again. DHS is always at the Super Bowl.
It'd be really funny if they continued and they were like, yeah, we both found you on the list someone made of a libtard playlist.
That's crazy. A libtard playlist is crazy.
There's a
you ever get added?
and
It
we're part of
doesn't
that.
happen so much now because I think lists either don't exist or they're greatly reduced in importance on Twitter now since Elon Musk. But there was a time where whenever a conservative would get mad at me, they would just put me on like a Twitter list with the funniest name. Like, it'd be like,
me too.
Pieces of shit. Biggest libtards on the internet. It'd be like,
the craziest name ever.
What a weird thing to do, though. Like, I'll show you to the Twitter list. You go.
No, one of them was like actively shitting on the U.S. Like, that was one of the lists they had me on. And I was like, low-key, like, you're kind of right, but like, come on, man. Like,
I'm pretty sure the only list that I can actually remember being put on was like some shit lib list that like a Jimmy Dore fan put me in when we were starting to beef, like when we had a falling out. So that was really funny to me. I just found it amusing.
I didn't know you and Jimmy Dore had a falling out.
Yeah. We were buddies. I went to a show when he came to Portland, and then he decided to go full Dave Rubin. And
Jimmy was mad at Mike because when he was originally looking for to think of a username for his sock puppet account, he wanted to do libtard00, but Mike already took that one, so he had to go with libtard01.
Oh man, guys.
What were you saying again, Mike? I'm sorry, I cut you off. How did the falling out happen again?
Oh God, it's a number of things. I don't remember. I think maybe it was over like the Steven Crowder thing initially, where there was like a Cold War where he wanted me to like validate his homophobic view or a homophobic defense of Steven Crowder's homophobia, and I wouldn't. But then he got Glenn Greenwald to do it, so he was like, "Well, he agrees." And I'm like, "Okay, well, fuck you." Like, you just want like a gay yes man to be like, "Yes, sir, you have a pass for homophobia." Like, what the fuck is happening here? And then there were a bunch of other little things I don't remember, but yeah, he just like kind of went more crazy. And once he kind of like isolated all of the sane people from his life, then he went full Jimmy Dore. And yeah, I was gone. Kyle
Jimmy
was
Dore
gone.
went full Jimmy Dore.
He went full Jimmy Dore. You
No
never go full
explanation
Jimmy Dore.
needed after that.
Yeah, according to the Vanguard, I haven't seen the video, but it showed up in my subscription. He is bootlicking ICE now, which is crazy because he used to hate cops. So, yeah, very crazy stuff.
Damn. Well, I am done with my super chats. And
Wait, is this one for you, Ariana, from Ben Riley, or is this for Rebecca?
It's not for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'll read that later.
Chat, I love you guys so much. I'm so glad you guys like that guest. I can keep curating more guests for you guys if you want. I know a lot of people, so I'm sure you
You
guys
and
know
Lance
a
are
lot
the
of
ones with the
people, too.
connections.
I know you guys know a lot of people too, but if you
But
guys,
you guys know like a fuck ton of people, so it's nice to have that. Nice to have the access to like get a bunch of cool people on.
yeah, like when we had Francesca on too, that was cool.
That was cool. We gotta do that again.
Yeah. I feel like I really love having guests on. I feel like we should do it more often. Chat, do you guys like it when we have guests on, or do you guys prefer it? Wait, can we do viewer call-ins again? I'm sorry.
I would love to. I would love to do that again. Yeah, I feel like
we just have to put a timer. Someone just has to be the cop. Someone has to be like, "All right, you're cut. Get out."
It's
you know what I mean?
it's hard for me to do that because I don't want to like. If somebody's making a really good point, I don't want to cut in and cut them off and be like, "Your 5 minutes are up," when they're like talking about something really significant.
Dramatic. Yeah. No,
Yeah, so it's hard for me to do that when it's like this format, but
Yeah.
I do want to do that again. I thought that was so much fun. I was actually thinking about that today. I'm like, we should do a call. I'm like, no, we have a guest, so maybe next week or something. But yeah, we'll have to plan it.
Next week we're doing call-ins. That's what we're doing.
Should we just like book it, mark it
Yeah,
down as
we're
call-ins?
booking it. We're doing call-ins, and
Okay.
I'll be the police. I'll be the 5-minute police. I'll be like, "All right, you gotta go.
Okay,
You gotta
I
stop
like
talking
that.
about trauma. You got a minute."
Okay, I like that. I like that. Well, everybody mark your calendars. Next Thursday will be a call-in show. Should we do like the first hour news, second hour call-in, or do you think we should do the whole thing
I
call-in?
think we should just give it to the chat. Like, they're so loyal. They're always here. I feel like we should give them, like, we
And
had
they're
so-
very entertaining and
Yeah.
charismatic.
They
too.
are.
And I felt so bad because we had so many people in the queue, and I truly do love our chat. Like, I feel like our chat is so loyal. They're always here. We damn near know most of them by their names. Like, no, we should give them a full episode, and we should get as many people on here as possible and give them the floor. But when I'm the police, I'm really sorry, y'all. Like, if I cut you off, I cut you off. Like, it is what it is. We got to give everyone room. But yeah, I would love that. I would
That'd be
love
fun.
these 2 hours of just talking to our amazing viewers. I would cherish it.
Well, let's plan for that then. Next Thursday, full-blown call-in show, everybody.
Yes. I'm so excited. Come in with your best chat.
Yes, and prepare in front of a mirror. You better come on the camera rehearsed
Mhm.
and know exactly what you want to say and have it all prepared for 5 minutes. I want power. No, I'm just kidding.
Mhm. But just remember, you guys got. Sorry, I keep banging my desk. You guys have a 5-minute mark, so do not get upset if we cut you off because everyone should get a chance. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I'm keeping you guys up. Matt's tired. All right,
How dare
guys.
you,
I'm gonna
Ariana. How dare
head
you.
out. I love you guys so much, chat. I can't wait to see your guys' beautiful faces next week. Come in with your best, whatever pitch you have, whatever you're working on, whatever your advocacy is, like get it together, get your talking points together. Like next week is the time for you to advocate for what you want, or you could just come in and shoot the shit. Just don't be crazy.
Or if you want to, you can come in and technically insult us. I mean, that's a...
Don't. All right, you can roast everyone but me. Don't be talking about me, please.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't be mean.
You guys have the green light to roast Mike since he wants it so bad.
It doesn't bother me. If they really want to roast me, that's fine. But I don't like. There's nothing you would roast me for. Like I'm virtually unroastable. So.
You know what it reminds you? It reminds you of that one episode of The Office where Michael had a roast session and he ends up getting hella hurt by the end of it, even though he kept asking people to roast it. That's kind of the vibe it's giving. Okay, I'm so sorry. I keep elongating this goodbye. Okay, guys, I love you so much.
Hey, you
Goodbye.
take care.
I
We'll
will
see you
your
next
beautiful
week.
Take care, Ariana.
week. I can't wait to have the call-in episode. Okay, bye, guys.
All right, take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
All right. Did you want to go first, or did you want me to read mine?
I could go first. Why not?
Okay, let me go ahead and actually go ahead and pull yours up because I'm not sure where to start. I'm
Yep.
gonna run to the bathroom and then I'll come back and take over for you once I'm.
All right, cool. Let me
once I'm
just
back.
find it. Give me a second. Here we go. I don't know. I think Tigwick sent this to a whole bunch of people. So Tigwick Plays Games says, here's a few extra bucks, and those few extra bucks are $50. Wow, thank you so much, Tigwick. $50. It's Canadian, but it's still $50. Let's see. We got who's next? Old Man Philly. Where's this? Let's see. Old Man Philly. I'll find you. Here we go. Old Man Philly says, getting married in July, considering walking down the aisle with WAP playing as my entrance song. My fiance isn't on board yet. Thoughts? And I think it's a wonderful, heartfelt show of emotion to play that song with your, while you're walking down the aisle. I mean, consider actually offering that. Maybe she's not on board because she's upset because she wanted that to be her walkout song. I mean, you should consider giving WAP up to your wife as the, as a sign of just how much she means to you, that you're willing to give up your entrance song at your wedding to her. I mean, that's got to be why she's upset. I can't imagine any other reason. She wants that song for herself.
I think it's a beautiful idea.
Yeah. I was just saying she's probably mad because she wanted to do that. So a sign of true love and a lifelong commitment would be to offer that song to her for her entrance song for the wedding. Instead of Here Comes the Bride, WAP plays.
I love that so much.
All right. The next, are you taking over?
Yeah, I can take over for you. Just tell me which one you want me to
Looney
highlight.
Tunes 9000. I hate control freak parents. They love to ruin everything. They must be watching too much of the what mainstream media spoon-fed them. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends, like, what are they control freak over? Like, it's easy, I guess, now for me to say I'm not like that with my kids, but maybe I'm going to feel different when they start going out of the house and hanging out with their friends by themselves. I don't think I'm going to become a control freak, but the parenting you saw might slightly change. I'm still going to try to be cool and do what my parents did for me, but also I don't know. I think about that all the time. Oh, when they started hanging out, and it's not like, oh, I take them to their friend's house for a play date. I think about that. That's going to be a big change. So, as a parent, I get control freak in terms of you worrying about them. But then there's like the over zealous control freak parents, which I think you're probably referring to, that we discussed earlier, where it's like a kid in your friend's group chat in their class did something, and then you punish your kid for being in that group chat. That doesn't make any sense to me, and that's not good. Also, in terms of what you're saying about mainstream media spoon feeding them, there's definitely a lot of like, what was it, like satanic panic type stuff, like especially with social media, like the TikTok challenges and stuff, and like parents freak out about that, and then you look on TikTok and it's like there's no one even posting about this. There's no challenge. It doesn't exist. This was like an urban legend that spread through the school. That happens a lot. So that, yeah. T-Types with a super chat. Sending love to you and your family, Matt. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jacqueline Itch 7050. I'm beside the dog who is now mine because my friend died 8 months after being diagnosed with melanoma. Don't let the system ignore your dad ever. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, we're doing, we're figuring things out, and we'll, yeah. But he's definitely getting treatment. Figuring things out in terms of like the insurance stuff for like the aftercare stuff. Tokyo Hans with the super chat. 2,000 yen. Thank you so much. Stay strong, Matt and Binder Dad. My father was diagnosed with cancer and given 6 months to live. He passed last June after 23 years after diagnosis.
Wow.
Ariana is right about the ebbs and flows. Just do best to relieve stress. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. I really appreciate it. And like stories like that really help. Make me feel like, that there are good scenarios. DNKJY with a $5 super chat, just a heart emoji. I appreciate that. TC Trumbo 99 with a super chat, hoping your dad pulls through, Matt. Thank you. I appreciate it. Big changes with a $10 super chat, sending only the very best energy and wishes, Matt. You're a bright light inside and out. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. The Iron Pedal became a YouTube supporter. Thank you so much. A YouTube member, I should say. The Bay Photo with a super chat. Taking care of a sick parent is an emotional roller coaster. I'm dealing with it myself. Sending my best wishes to your dad and fam. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, it's definitely like a messes with your mind a lot, I would say. That's what you're not ready for. And it has you thinking like right away, like, what can I do to make sure that if anything happens to me, my kids don't have to deal with this? Because that's the last thing you want to do with your kids. Give them, what they parents should be taking care of the kids, not the other way around. And I believe that. Obviously, it's nice for kids to step in and help when parents need help. But I do think that we are not their responsibility. They didn't choose to be brought into the world. That's how I look at it with my kids, at least. Troy Mosen, 89.75 with the super chat. Wishing your father the best, Matt. I'm dealing with stage 3 cancer myself and just finished a week of chemo. I have 3 more weeks to go with 2 week breaks in between. Thank you, chat and Leftist Mafia crew. Wow. Troy, I wish you the very best. I don't want to say I know what you're going through because I'm witnessing it secondhand, but I certainly empathize and maybe understand more than people who haven't gone through any of it. Luckily, stage 3. Hopefully that means the doctors are extra positive about how this is going to go. Prairie Fire Neb with a super chat. $10 super chat. Binder Dad needs to get his MedBed card that Trump tweeted about a few months ago. Mm-hmm. There might be an AI video that he fell for. Regardless, I'm hoping for the best for your dad and family. I appreciate it, Kowalski. And yeah, I mean, that's why that shit's messed up. Like, if you're going through something like that, if you're sick or know someone who's sick or a family member who's sick, like, there are unfortunately people who grasp at anything they can and will believe insane shit like that because they've got nothing else and they need to hope for, and they need something. And that's why that shit's extra fucked up, that he would send something out like that as president of the United States, feeding into the delusion of conspiracy theorists that like that option exists out there and it's being hidden from them. I mean, I wish that wasn't. I wish, trust me, no one who's denying med beds are real, who are debunking the conspiracy theory, are doing it because they're happy med beds don't exist. In a perfect world, I would love for there to be a magic bed that you go into and it cures all of your illnesses. That would be fantastic. It just doesn't exist. Big changes with the super chat. Did you all see Trump is suing the IRS and Treasury? Did this just happen?
I did not see this.
Oh, it was a few hours ago. I guess when we started the.
We always miss breaking news.
Yeah. He's suing them over his tax returns being leaked. Do you remember that?
Seriously, okay.
for 10 billion. He's suing
10
his
billion.
own government.
That's all. Wow.
As president, he's suing his own government $10 billion.
Oh my God.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he just facilitated them giving him a settlement of $5 billion. You know what I mean? Like,
crazy.
Bearded B sent out 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Joan City with the super chat. Matt, give your dad a big hug for us. Almost cried. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will. He's been in here these past few weeks, actually. He's not in here tonight because it's not a pain thing, thankfully, which makes me think it's not related to when he was really sick last month and that it's a withdrawal thing. He's like completely out of it, like complete like mental brain fog.
How many rounds of chemo has he had?
Oh, he's taking it still. Like he's on these pills that so there's a specific mutation that some people have when they have melanoma. And if you have this specific mutation, there are these pills called like Brefcovy or something that are like, I don't want to call it a miracle drug, but like as soon as he started taking them, it was like overnight, like almost, he was completely different. And the doctor was explaining like these are fairly new. They've only been around for like, I think 10 or 15 years. And if your dad was very lucky he had this mutation, because if not, it would have made this a lot harder to treat.
Wow.
And so that's what's making me hope that he's like just out of it today, the past couple of days, because they started tapering off the steroids he was taking.
So the chemo that he's doing is like just a pill?
It's pills, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because my father-in-law, he just did 6 rounds of chemo. He just finished it like a couple of weeks ago. And basically he'd do chemo and then 3 weeks later he'd go back. And by the end, like towards the time he goes back for his next round of chemo, he'd start to feel better. But as soon as he does another round of chemo, he starts feeling horrible again. And it like over the course of like the 6 months of it, like he just got worse and worse each time. And brain fog was like one of them. Fatigue was another one. And so I was wondering if like the chemo also maybe played a role too.
Yeah, I mean, he's been taking the chemo for over a month now, and there was none of this. So I got to assume it's the they're giving him less steroids every few days because they want to wean him off of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He did also have targeted radiation therapy, but that's he went through a few rounds of that, and then that's completed for in terms of his current treatment, it's completed a whole, but with cancer, how, as things change, they alter treatments. Yeah.
I see.
T-types with a hold on, here we go. Where is it? T-types the $10 super chat. It's hard to imagine concrete solutions to this nightmare haunting America, but the arrogant violence of this regime betrays a fear that their goals may be impossible, and I can take heart in that. Yeah, that's one way to look at that for sure.
By the way, T-type said last time that they had music on Spotify and Apple Music. I listened to it. It's so good. They're so talented. Really, really good stuff.
Anonymous 8013, $100 super chat. I really appreciate that, Anonymous. Or it looks like their username is Anon Nemis, because there's the extra N there.
Oh, okay. That threw me off.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a lot. I really appreciate it. The Iron Pedal with a $200
Oh my
super chat.
goodness.
I really appreciate that, Iron Pedal. Really, it means a lot. Matt, so sorry to hear about your dad. Sending you much love and fuck fascism. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, until these past few days, the answer would have been a lot different in terms of how is he feeling. It would have been like, oh man, it's like a complete 180. I mean, I thought he would be out of the rehab if it progressed like this in like maybe this week, if not the next week. And then, funny enough, his insurance for the rehab technically ended like a day or two ago. And we went to go check on him to see how he would be leaving. And that's when we noticed that like, oh, he's not ready now because these past few days have been not good. But if it had progressed in the way it was, he might have been home by now. So we'll see. Digital Matt with a super chat. Just want to shout out the NH Talk community. The New Hampshire delegation is D for disappointing. I know many of us are taking notes from communicators like y'all. Creflo $50 with a super chat. Is it me or does Alex Jones look like a fat Stone Cold Steve Austin since Jones got on that Ozzy? Or Ozzy, I should say. Also, Mary Glue Sniff Camp Perez is going through it. That's a good one. Mary Glue Sniff Camp Perez.
I love that.
And Creflo $50 says here because of another super chat. Here because Hassan got a 7-day ban on Twitch again. What did Hassan do?
Did he really?
Oh, and Looney Tunes 9000 resubscribed for 13 months at tier 1 over on Twitch. Has it already been like almost 2 years or something? Anyway, you get extra pay since Lance ran away on super chats. JK. And thank you, actual Jake, for the raid earlier. Really appreciate that. What did Hassan do?
I am not sure. Well,
Does anybody know?
I hope it's not like a 7-day ban. So that's a long ban, though. Damn.
For Twitch, isn't that?
That's a really long ban. I mean, he could use the break, but it's still really fucked up. Violation of Twitch's community guidelines or terms of service. He said Zionist. He called somebody a Zionist pig, is what the chat is saying. Wow. I guess that'll do it these days. Okay, so there's some mixed in super chats for Rebecca as well. So I'm just going to go through them all and make sure every one of them gets read. So I'll start with the Bay photo for me. Thanks for the $5. Honestly, just take the cash and skip the documentary next time. We already know it's a bribe. Jeff Bezos. Exactly. Unknown.
Why go for the theatrical run? That's what's interesting to me.
Crazy, yeah.
I could see if like they just released it on Prime Video. Obviously, it would still be fucking ridiculous and like insane that they're doing this. But like, at least that would be like a show of like, we're just doing it because we need to. The theatrical run is crazy,
and the marketing for the theatrical run is another layer.
It's a lot. Just throw the fucking thing on Prime Video. It's already a bomb in theaters, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I was shocked it was in theaters when I found that out. I was like, why is it in theaters? It should just be on streaming.
There's no audience for her. The cult of Trump is exactly that. It's all about Trump. If it was a Trump documentary, I would understand, and I bet it would do well because people would simply pay to go support him. But there is no audience for her. I mean, I'm sure there are a few weirdos, but there really isn't an audience for her.
No, it's very. I find the whole thing amusing. Unknown says, I would pay money to watch it if the Tea Party with the Bidens ended with a fist fight. Yeah, you know what? I might bite if that was the case too. There's apparently a scene where she has tea with the Bidens, which is what they're referring to. Fuggy says, looked up the sales on the movie here in Waterloo, Ontario on Melania for tomorrow. No tickets sold, not one. That's so funny. Thank you for the update. I love seeing all of the screenshots that people are posting of their local movie theaters selling 0 tickets or like 1 or 2 tickets. That is so funny. It's a much needed dopamine hit. Octo Wolf says, update on my public transit push in my city. People are now on board with the idea, but due to my financial situation, I have to move. Right. So, Octo, if I'm remembering correctly, you were the person who was like threatened because you brought up a public transit push. I think that's right. Chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I guess that in the end, that means that you won if you got them on board. It just is really unfortunate that you have to move. That's really upsetting. I hope everything works out for you. It sounds like a really shitty situation altogether, but kudos to you for advocating for public transit. I think that's awesome. The fact that it's being adopted is something you should be proud of. Good for you. I hope that, things get better though, otherwise, because that's really unfortunate. Cartoon says, have you heard of Send Help and Iron Lung? Both are interesting movies to watch in theaters instead of that Melania movie. Also, I've been watching The Pit. I'm glad you're watching The Pit, Sam. It is amazing. So I saw Send Help. I've heard Iron Lung. I'm not familiar with them, so I can't speak to them. But I'll look into it if you say that they're interesting, because you have good taste and I trust you. Sir Gerbil says, I think the idea of a bunch of Fox News addicted senior citizens becoming the new Barbs is quite hilarious. It kind of is when you think about it. So yeah. Sergio says, Chris Hansen said he's doing a show with ICE to target undocumented predators. What are your thoughts on Chris Hansen's? He's on Fox News a lot now. Well, it's kind of ironic because this is the guy who's against predators, right?
It's stupid. Why does it matter if they're undocumented or not? You should be anti-predators, period. The issue isn't that they're undocumented. The issue is that they're predators. It's a stupid idea. What, are undocumented predators somehow worse than predators who are citizens or here legally? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Predators are predators. They should be in jail regardless of what their status, their citizen or immigration status is.
And Trump is a predator. So I just find it weird that he's getting in bed with the party that protects pedophiles. That to me is very strange. I don't get that one bit. Seems like he's kind of selling out. But I mean, I guess that's an inevitability for so many people. They just have no principles. Flip the Script says, you want some bucks? Include us in the conversation. Okay, well, you know what? Next week, we'll do a call-in show. Hope you call in. Tigwick sends $50. Tigwick, thank you so much. For those who haven't been keeping track, Tigwick has sent, I believe, every single one of us $50. Tigwick, thank you so much. The generosity tonight all around has been very, very, pleasant to see. You all are just wonderful people. Thank you so much. And Tigwick, thank you. Really, really appreciate that. So kind. Action Jackson says, do you think they're building a citizen rating system like China with Tulsi stealing ballots, Bondi wanting voter rolls, and Homan's protester database? I think they're definitely putting together some lists. I don't know if it's for a citizen rating system. By the way, the whole social credit thing with China is complete horseshit. Like, it was propaganda from US media outlets. But it wouldn't surprise me that they took the idea of what they think the social credit system is in China and implement that here, because it seems like they really want to create different castes of citizens and residents. But I'm not sure what they're doing with those lists, but I will tell you that it's not good, whatever it is. Flip the Script says, no one addressing the Hispanic male vote during the 2026 election. Black people feel betrayed. The answer is to act like it didn't happen. Not a good. I think that a lot of the shifts, at least based on, some of the analysis we've seen, not just among Hispanic males, but also younger Gen Z males across the board, was economic. And that's still that's no excuse because Trump had no plan for the economy, but I think that's probably part of it. But I do agree that there needs to be some way to reach people who felt so like disillusioned with the system that they decided to vote for Hitler too, because that is a failure. That's a failure on the Democratic Party. That's a failure on the media. That's a failure on the entire fucking country. But yeah, I do think that you can't just like pepper over that. I also think there needs to be a reckoning with regard to the Democratic Party's support for genocide. My voice cracked when I said genocide, but not to undermine the seriousness of it. But I mean, like, once you support a genocide, you can't really come back from that. There's not really a way to win back that trust unless there is like a real effort to course correct, and they haven't done that yet. So that's also something that needs to be addressed. A lot of things have to be tackled before we can even begin to move forward, if we can ever move forward. Lizzie Bennett says, looking forward to Minaj becoming a worse version of Lil Kim, a washed up has-been that's past her prime. By the way, what's the name of the song intro? So the instrumental, I believe, is Hins Hall from Macklemore, and Lance mixed in a bunch of different raps and whatnot, and Rage Against the Machine, stuff like that. So Hins Hall is the main beat overall. Good song. Octowolf says, I support tomorrow's general strike, but can't participate. Texas laws plus UFCW not being part of it means I have no protection and could get fired. Yeah, Octo, that is completely understandable. I think that a lot of people, the overwhelming majority of people who know about it, will not be able to participate. There's a real cost associated with participating. So don't be too down on yourself. This is kind of a test run. The goal is to build up momentum so that way people can participate. If we really want to have a powerful general strike, there needs to be more than like this weak planning. And I don't think they're expecting this to be the end all be all. But if you really want to get through to the powers that be, you need strike funds so people can afford to take time off work. You need to be able to coordinate at the state and local level. You need unions on board. And at this point in time, it looks like it's primarily just, civil rights organizations, which is important, but union is always the backbone of these things. So definitely, don't be down on yourself because you're not the only one. Flip to Script says, I'm part of BLM and nobody knows how to handle Antifa. Since they're not an org, how do you stop them from wrecking shit? BLM got blamed for the damage. That I can't really answer to because in Portland, I feel like the Antifa here does not like do anything like that. I feel like most of what I see from Antifa is they're just doing resistance to fascists. They're not like going out of their way to wreck shit. What I would question is whether or not anyone who's purporting to be Antifa is like a Fed or an op, because you do have to look out for things like that. I'm not trying to get you to be paranoid, but sometimes you have wreckers enter these groups and try to disrupt it to split them apart from other orgs. So like if the goal is to disaggregate BLM and Antifa, then that's one way to do it. So I'm not really sure. I can't give you a full answer, but just be on the lookout. Yeah, as that chatter said, COINTELPRO never ended. It was Clav who said that. Sergio says Chris Hansen doing propaganda for Jeffrey Epstein's best friend is a wild plot twist in our timeline I did not see coming. He's on Jesse Waters a lot. That is a wild plot twist. Yeah, the fact that he's going on Jesse Waters means that he's pretty much he's one of them now. That's embarrassing. Kowalski says, I feel like you guys should invite David Dole of the Rational National onto the program. He's a Canadian and his bedtime is 9 p.m. EST, but I think he'd mesh well. He's a bit of a lib. I haven't heard of David Dole. Have you heard of David Dole, Matt? Maybe we'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out. What was he? Was there some sort of Toronto Maple Leafs or Toronto Blue Jays or Toronto Pee Wee hockey team playing tonight? The U12 Toronto team to watch.
Looney Tunes says, I never want to see that disgusting photo with Nikki and Trump ever again. Thank you, Looney Tunes. I'm sorry you had to see that, but I am appreciative that you validated my disgust with it because it was really, really off-putting to me. Just his gross hand with the makeup on it and her holding it. Just, ugh. Omega says, telling people crashed your browser on MySpace. Oh, tell them how people crashed your browser on MySpace. Oh, yeah, because people would load so much shit. Like when you have, you can create long ass profile pictures that are GIFs, so they're animated, and you got like multiple of those going in your top 8. It can get bogged down. People like would load up, like Rebecca was saying with the HTML, people would load up on shit. So yeah, that was a common occurrence. Especially if you were on 56K. Super Platana Man says Ariana can wrestle men. She should be in the UFC. I think this was actually to Ariana, so she should.
I have no idea what this is referring to. I don't remember.
I think maybe she said something. I don't know. Old Man in Philly says Qasim's point on laws needing execution to be effective is sharp, especially since our governance relies on handshakes and norms. Thoughts? No, I totally agree with that. And that's part of like the struggle with the Supreme Court throughout history. It's why they rely so heavily on legitimacy, because they don't have an enforcement mechanism. When Broadview Board of Education was decided, there was no police force that could forcibly get schools to desegregate. So they've always relied on a system of norms, on people believing that they have the authority to, make these constitutional decisions. So, yeah, I think that is kind of a shit system, right? I think you need to do more to give them some teeth. Otherwise, you can do what Trump's doing and just completely disregard them. Omega says, hope Ellen gets better. Met him IRL, great guy. Funny AF and match chat too, sending all the good vibes. What Ari was saying is super valid too. Yeah, definitely. When you're taking care of a parent who's not in a good place and is recovering, it is absolutely draining and worrying. So yeah, self-care is 1000% necessary for sure. Chris Corcoran says,
Thank you, by the way, Omega. I appreciate you saying that.
Chris Corcoran says Jimmy C saw Trump get reelected and said, I'm out. Jess says Hassan got banned on Twitch for comparing ICE to Israel. The Israel lobby is a threat to free speech, especially what they did to TikTok. Yeah, I mean, there's the clip. I really wanted to talk about this. Another thing, I'm just gonna have to start making more videos on my second channel again of shit that I want to talk about but can't make a full video on. There was an Israeli billionaire that was talking about how we just like gotta limit the First Amendment in America. I don't remember who it is. You have also Netanyahu. I did talk about this in a video discussing how they've got to like, God, I don't remember the exact words, but basically he was talking about the need for a propaganda army on social media. And he was saying this to right-wing influencers about, being pro-Israel and shit. It's just, yeah, fuck Israel. It's just exhausting the way that so much of our free speech laws are influenced by them. And, it's frustrating. ABS says, hey, Mike, did they figure out what Ilhan was sprayed with? Also, have you heard that the FBI is doing raids on voter polls? Yeah, so it turns out that she was sprayed with apple cider vinegar, which is weird. Like, I'm thankful it's not something terrible. It could have been like acid or something really dangerous. That was another crazy thing we didn't talk about, Ilhan Omar getting assaulted. But yeah, it was nothing toxic. Apple cider vinegar, still very, very scary, and 1000% incited by Donald Trump. In terms of the FBI raid on voter polls, I have heard of that. My video tomorrow is about the raid on voter polls. That is, yeah, it is. Apple cider vinegar is acidic. Good point. But like, these acid attacks is what I was really worried about. But anyways, yeah, my video tomorrow is about the raid in Fulton County. It is very, very alarming, to put it mildly. So definitely look out for that. Susan says, Mike, I watched your Melania video 3 times. It was fire. 3 times? Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you enjoyed it so much. That makes me feel good. I'm glad that you were entertained.
That's 3 more watches than the Melania movie received.
That's true. Put that video in fucking theaters. No, I was really kind of like debating with myself if I wanted to talk about that, because there was so much other important things I could have talked about. But I'm like, you know what? I really need to just like take a mental break and talk about this dumb shit. I kind of just want to shit on Melania. I mean, sure, there's a substantive angle to it because it's corruption. It's being made because they wanted to curry favor with Trump. Still, it's not the most substantive thing, but I really needed a palate cleanser, so I talked about it, and I'm glad that people enjoy it as well, because yeah, sometimes it's okay to talk about stupid shit. Cartoon says thoughts on Megyn Kelly, Tim Pool defending ICBS. So, if I'm remembering correctly, Megyn Kelly said she doesn't feel bad for Alex Preddy. Tim Pool said that he's not a bootlicker. He is the boot. It's his boot getting licked. I think that at this point in time, these people are just going to say whatever. Oh, thanks, Eco Socialist. They also enjoyed the video. I think that at this point in time, these people are just going to say whatever to bootlick Donald Trump. There's not really anything that they can say that will get them to turn on Trump unless, like, a significant portion of the country turns on Trump. Like, we're talking much bigger than they are now. I mean, his popularity is lower than ever, but these people just start craving, and I think that they understand that saying crazy things gets them attention, so they're gonna do that. Negative engagement farming is a thing, and they're very clearly bad people with no morals. I don't even know if they believe half the shit that they're saying, but I would just tell you to not put any stake in or any stock into what they say, because it's all just horseshit. They are hollow shells of human beings. Creflo Half Dollar says, what's going on with Marie Glusniff Camp Perez? Oh, you know what? That's funny as hell. I also saw somebody say Marie Glue Internment Camp Perez. Like, that was another spin. I'm probably fucking up the name, but like, or Concentration Camp Perez. Sis looks like she's going through it. Also, Valentina Gomez, Jersey City native, CT college student, and 100% grifter. Yeah, that's another person that I would put in the category of like Tim Pool and Megyn Kelly. Just straight up just says shit to be inflammatory for the sake of it, to get attention. I think this one is to Rebecca, sent after she left. Still waiting on that Pisco crossover. At some point, maybe we'll have to bring him on, because that's another attorney that probably has some really good insight. Marsh Light, thank you for the $50, by the way. That is such a kind thing to do. Really generous today. Thank you so much. And actually, Marsh Light sent in another $50 super chat. That's $100. Marsh Light, my goodness, thank you so much. That's so kind. Please never ever like send money if you can't afford it. But you are very generous. Thank you so much. Really. There's a post circulating that Imam and Trump dated, and she rejected him. Ilhan. Ilhan is a Somali. Could be one more vindictive reason Minnesota has been targeted besides voting Democrat since 1976. So I honestly think it's a lot more simple than that. He's just racist, and he doesn't think that a Somali woman who wears a hijab should be able to have power in this country. I genuinely think it's as simple as that. Oh, Iman the model? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. I mean, yeah, I haven't heard of this. Iman the model. I feel like it's hard to believe Trump would date a woman who's black, because he's like an old school racist, like eugenicist racist, but I'll have to look into that. Oh, before I was born. Okay, so it's this is why it's not clicking, and I assumed it was Ilhan, but I don't know. I feel like that dude would never date a black woman. He's so fucking racist. It's shocking that he even is dating, an immigrant at all, or married to an immigrant, I should say. But I'll look into that. But thank you so much again for the kind super chat. Oh, so Iman was in Bowie circles. Okay, so this is an older thing. Yeah, this is before my time, so I'm not going to be familiar with it. But who knows? I mean, I honestly don't know how to process Trump's actions. It's just sometimes it's pettiness, other times it's vindictiveness. The man is a fucking loon. So maybe there's merit to that too. I genuinely don't know. Chrome Domer says, did you guys hear about Hasanabi getting banned? We did, yes. Thank you. Lots of super chats about that. I'll look into this afterwards. I hope that it's just 7 days and they don't try to pull any bullshit on Hassan. Creflo Half Dollar says also, ICE kidnapped people in South Jersey waiting in line at a food pantry. That's so fucking evil. They have no barriers to what they're willing to do. There's a family in Oregon. They're an asylum family, so they're here trying to legally pursue residency, and they took all of them, even though their kid was waiting to get emergency care. Just psychotic people. Rochelle, thank you for the super sticker. It's a little hippo that says "Get good." Indeed, it's a reference to Souls games and how hard they are, the difficulty, but also it's been used in other contexts too. But as a Soulsborne fan, I appreciate the super sticker and the reference, Rochelle. Lord Magnus, nice to see you, Lord Magnus. New anti-ice tracks are on the way for you, Mike. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to that. That's awesome, Lord Magnus. Hell yeah. For those who don't know, Lord Magnus is behind some of the outros that you hear on my videos. Lord Magnus, and there's also Raw Heats. Both do really, really amazing beats. Lord Magnus is also on Spotify and Apple Music, I believe, too. So check out Lord Magnus. Buggy says, yes, I listen to T-Types as well. Great. Hey, T-Types. Buggy also checked you out. So you might have to have a lot more streams after last week's episode because, yeah, you're good. T-Types is good. T-Types music is really fucking good. I think my favorite song is probably Colorado. Really like it. Like, awesome, awesome music. And speak of the devil, T-Type says, thanks for the hype, Mike. I've been watching you since 2018. It means a lot to hear it coming from you. That is so kind. Hey, the fact that you've been watching for nearly a decade is fucking crazy. So I appreciate the compliment. And yeah, you're welcome for the compliment as well. Creflo says, Mike, have you seen the trailer for the He-Man movie? Hogs melting down because there's a scene where He-Man is at a desk and his pronouns are shown. No, so I haven't even heard that there's going to be this He-Man movie. I'm going to check it out now because I think that's fucking hilarious.
No. We wouldn't want pronouns being used in He-Man.
My God. That's amazing. I thought that in 2026 we were beyond the outrage over the quote-unquote woke stuff. That's crazy. Octowolf says, yes, that was me. I can talk more about it next week when I call in. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. I would love to hear more about that, Octowolf, because it sounds like you've been through some shit just trying to improve your city. So yeah, definitely. I want to hear from you. So call in for sure. Otaku Dragon says Trump just said he will never lower house prices. There's a lot he's not gonna do. So that's not surprising. So that's it for me on YouTube. I don't know if I have anything on Twitch.
I got two more on Twitch. Best BFAX cheered 138 bits and said 69. If you press both of Matt's nipples at the same time, he takes a screenshot. What? And then Best BFAX sent another 138 bits that says, Matt earned these bits by staying silent this whole time. I didn't see your post. I read it now. There you go. You might have to take it back.
That last one feels passive aggressive. Well, that is the show, everybody. Do we want to go ahead and raid? Let's see who's on now.
Hassan? No, he's not on.
Hassan's not on.
He'll be back. They would never get rid of him. That would be ridiculous on their part.
Yeah.
For something so stupid too. Like 7 days alone is ridiculous, but they would never make that long term. At least I don't think they would.
Yeah. Oh, you know who we should raid? I see the Paradigm Shift.
Sounds good to me.
I feel like we haven't raided him before, but it'd be cool to raid him.
It's Paradigm _shift.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'm pressing that
everybody.
start raid button.
We'll see you next week again. Next week will be a call-in show, so you get ready to call us in, and we're really looking forward to hearing from you. I'm tired. Anyways, bye everybody.
Peace.